Our hero is a guy who lives for books. Over the years, he's plowed through more than 3,000 of them. Having mastered it all, he starts wondering, is there anything left in this world worth learning? Then his eye lands on a cup sitting on the shelf. Inside, white wine sparkles invitingly. Has the old man been hoarding this vintage for years? Figuring it must cost a fortune, he knocks it back without a second thought. Nothing he's ever tasted comes close to this wine. But then, a strange energy stirs inside him. He tries to fight it down, but it's far stronger than he is. Flames swallow his body, and any chance of resisting goes up in smoke. Dying from a drink, that was never on his bingo card. So young. And gone in the most ridiculous way imaginable. Then, out of nowhere, he feels his heart still beating. His eyes snap open, and the shock hits. Has he seriously been reborn? He can't help wondering what this body's previous owner went through. Why so many scars? Back then, winter was brutal. Snow fell for months on end. A lonely girl named Ling Shen found him deep in the forest. She named the baby Ling Fang, and from that day on, the two lived side by side. She raised him herself, becoming a true sister to him. Ling Shen once took him to the elder to learn why martial arts refused to work for him. The elder's verdict: Ling Fang's body is frail, and his veins are downright bizarre. One attempt at training, and those veins would collapse on the spot. That's his fate, the elder said. A warrior's path is closed to him forever. His sister never gave up on him, though. She handed him a pill to reinforce his veins. Lingwu Academy sends them one such pill every month. As the elder put it, those veins can't heal, so best not to let the boy dwell on it. The local boys sneered at his sister, calling her the village's black sheep. Ling Fang knows he's weak, but nobody touches his sister. Period. The girl screamed at him to stop. Ling Fang didn't listen. He only wrecked himself further. His veins couldn't hold that flood of energy. The boys smirked that he'd finished the job of destroying himself and strolled off. He apologized to her. Leaving her alone was the last thing he wanted. Ling Shen told him he's a man. He has to keep living. Then the world went dark before his eyes, and he blacked out completely. Before his rebirth, his name was Wu Xin, the single most gifted talent in all of Shenwu. Waking up inside the scrap heap of a body was definitely not part of the plan. The girl sees he's awake. Tears of pure joy streamed down her face. Everyone swore the boy wouldn't pull through, but Ling Shen knew he'd never abandon her. He'd survive. She's a wonderful sister, yet bullying followed her everywhere. Ling Fang makes a decision. From this day on, nobody makes her suffer. And those three tormentors? He's filing that memory away for later. Even the weakest martial artist can shatter dozens of stones. Scarier still, a heavenly ancestor of martial arts could flip the entire world on its head. Cultivation climbs through several stages: novice, warrior, spirit master, emperor, sage, honorable, and at the very peak, the celestial ancestor. Small wonder that everyone on the continent dreams of becoming a martial artist. And Ling Fang? In his past life, he was the Holy Mountain's brightest genius, hitting the Emperor stage at just 13. The girl asks if he's hungry. She's cooked something for him. Ling Fang asks whether she saved any of the food for herself. His sister claims she's not hungry, so he should eat his fill. His body's still healing, she says. Eating too much would just waste good food. Ling Fang sees right through it. She's starving and lying about being full. Ling Shen pulls out a spiritual energy pill and tells him to swallow it. He's stunned. Where on earth did she get something like that? Yesterday she was at Lingwu Academy, where they handed out achievement pills. But an academy giving away a pill like this? She must have suffered plenty to earn it. It hits Ling Fang hard. His precious sister has been bleeding herself dry for him. This can't continue. Getting stronger is now his responsibility. Full stop. By rebuilding his cultivation, he'll rewrite his fate for good. First lesson? Learning to walk again. Cultivation demands a healthy body. Forging this wreck into a warrior's frame will take serious effort. There's exactly one way out of this hole. Claw his health back. Walk 10 meters, then 10 more. No stopping allowed. By the time dusk settles outside, the guy is just dragging himself home. Ling Shen asks where he vanished to. Why didn't he say a word? Ling Fang says he stepped out for a little walk. But hold on, why is she soaked through? She's been down at the river. Fish is on tonight's menu. Dinner turns out delicious. And since Ling Fang burned so much energy today, she tells him to eat up. A month of training later, he's noticeably stronger. 50 laps, done. Not long ago, 40 was his ceiling. The guy is thrilled. His limit is broken, and the progress is finally showing. Then, something goes wrong. An unknown energy seizes his body again, and he's convinced round 2 of dying has arrived. The boy looks around, baffled. Wherever this is, it isn't reality. Is this his own consciousness? Or a warrior's soul? And more importantly, where's the exit? Could it be that golden wine again? Surely he can't die twice from one drink. Can he? The scroll of earth and sky once described a very special liquid, golden, odorless, tasteless, and capable of splitting the heavens themselves. A single sip of it can put a sage in the grave. The wine he drank had been sealed inside that bottle. That's the secret behind his new strength. He gulped down a fair amount of the stuff. So why is he still breathing? A massive golden wave crashes over him, wiping out every thought in his head. Ling Fong jolts awake. What in the world just happened? He's alive, and his meridians have regrown, spreading through him like roots. That water's effect is nothing short of divine. His body now outclasses even his previous lives. One urgent problem, though. He reeks worse than a skunk, and a bath cannot wait. Odds are, almost nobody knows about this water yet. Talk about winning the lottery. So what's his new limit? Only one way to find out. Test it. Ling Fong figures a couple 100 kilograms should be no trouble now. Smashing rocks barehanded, he realizes the water has pushed him to the bronze body level. Silver and gold body? At this rate, a formality. Next time he runs into his sister's tormentors, he can flatten them without breaking a sweat. It's already nighttime, so why isn't his sister home yet? Nearing the house, he hears her voice. Ling Fong instantly knows something's wrong. He throws open the door and finds his sister writhing in pain. He rushes over, frantically asking if she's all right. Ling Shen tells him that if she leaves this world, he must go on living, no matter what. Her body is ice cold, yet her forehead burns. What's happening to her, the boy wonders. Then he recognizes it, a frozen soul. Cold qi is forcing out her body's own qi. She's standing at death's door. She worked herself to the bone for him, sacrificing everything, while the illness quietly grew worse. Feeling her time running out, Ling Shen asks him to live a great life. Strapping her to his back with a belt, the boy firmly swears he will heal his sister. He must scale Mount Linwei as fast as possible and find that pill. A guard bellows. Who dares show up here at night? The guy answers. Ling Shen and Fong. The guard is baffled the man is even alive. Everyone watched Fang destroy his own meridians. One look at the girl's condition and they mutter that she seems moments from death. Ling Fong is here for the cure, and anyone in his way gets buried. The guys yell that one more step means death. But first, Yu Feng decides to grace him with a 4th-level cultivator skills before finishing him. The onlookers can't believe this trash has the nerve to fight. The brat won't survive even one hit, they say. Ling Shen begs them to stop. Ling Feng doesn't need to do this. The clash begins. Ling Fang is buzzing. It's his very first fight. One punch launches the guy flying sideways, his arm turning crimson. The others just stare. Did this nobody seriously drop Yun Feng? When his two friends charge at Ling Feng, the girl prays for it all to just stop. He roars that one punch is all it would take to end him. Ling Feng is collecting on every bit of abuse those bastards dealt his sister. Soon they're all sprawled in the dirt, minds racing. How did he get this strong, this fast? Watching him, the girl still believes he can't cultivate, and she can feel herself fading. Grabbing the guys, Ling Feng offers a rematch to anyone still doubting his strength. Eyes wide with fear, Yun Feng begs him not to even think about it. But his sister is in danger. Where to dump these three? Digging through their pockets, he strikes gold. A blood-hardening pill. Exactly what he needs. After taking it, the girl says she feels much better, but he knows it's not enough. This pill alone won't cure her. He needs the valley, fire herb and fire fruit. He turns and barks at the trio to scram and stay out of his business. Then he hugs his sister. Time to go home. Training valley, out in the desert. The boy thinks, well, not as dangerous as advertised. He finds the fire herb almost at once. Then a painfully familiar sound from outside. Just a blue-eyed leopard, a mere 3rd-level martial warrior. Delighted, he decides the leopard is coming home to his sister. A few punches later, it's settled. Now for the fire fruits. He's deep in the middle of the forest, but they're nowhere in sight. Then a tree catches his eye. There they are. The very fire fruits that will save his sister. Something's off. Birds burst abruptly into the sky, and a golden lion at Warrior Peak 1 lands right in front of him. This golden lion is oddly human-like. Trained properly, it could become a first-rate ally. He packs all his strength into one fist, ready to strike. Ling Fong figures it's about time to wrap up and head home today anyway. His opening attack lands clean on the golden lion. Sizing it up, he tells the beast flatly, "You're not strong enough to beat me." Another flurry of blows, then the offer, surrender or die. Then the boy sweetens the deal, meat in exchange for obedience. The oversized cat tames itself on the spot. Ling Fong nods. Not so dumb after all. Just remember, cross him, and it's over. From today, Goldie is part of the family. His job? Guard the house and make sure nobody bullies sister. The leopard is for his sister, and if Goldie tries to snack on it, he's next on the menu. Time to head home, says the boy. Next morning, the girl wakes up early. The fever is gone. Then she glances around, spots a huge, shaggy lion, and screams the roof off. Ling Fong, busy cooking, hears the shriek. He bursts into the room asking what's wrong. Terrified, she reports that a lion has snuck into their house. Ling Fong tells her not to panic. It's a guard beast he brought home, he explains. Then the boy asks it why it isn't in its original form. A flash of light, and the lion shrinks into an adorable little Goldie. One look at the tiny creature and its gorgeous golden coat, and the girl is stunned. With her keen nose, she catches the delightful aroma, with distinct notes of something burning. Ling Fong remembers his fragrant soup and bolts outside with a yell. Handing her a bowl, he announces the soup is made from green tiger. Green what? She wonders in surprise. But one taste later, she's just happy life took this turn. That afternoon, someone hammers on the door, yelling, "Come out, garbage!" The guy shoots up. Who dares bark outside his house? It's the boys he thrashed before. Back for seconds, he asks. Wasn't last time enough? They crow that their brother Foshan is coming to avenge them and kick his ass. After all, he's a genius of Linghui Academy, a level 6 trainee. The boy blinks, lost. What's a Foshan? Never heard of one. Then a girl runs out asking Foshan why he's here. Foshan says her brother hurt his brothers, and he's come to settle it. Ling Fong doesn't bother waiting. He sends Big Goldie to do the honors. One casual scratch, and Foshan's sword goes flying. Seeing the lion, the boys gape. Where did he get a golden lion? Ling Fong shrugs. If they came here to die, be his guest. Summoning every scrap of courage, Foshan lunges at the quote, a monster. Seconds later, he's face down, begging forgiveness. The guy warns Foshan, provoke them again, and he won't get off this easy. Back inside, Ling Fong showers Goldie with affection, plus a massive chunk of meat as today's paycheck. He senses the golden liquid has finished its work. He can now handle 2,500 pounds, and with that foundation, real martial arts can finally begin. All that's left is swallowing the chi of earth and sky. It happens so fast, he blows through the first level before he can blink. Whooping that he's already broken into level 3, he wakes both his sister and little Goldie. Time to take the Linghui Academy exams. Linghui Academy holds entrance exams every year, and the format is simple. Climb Mount Linwei. Mount Linwei has 99 steps. Clear 5 and you qualify as an outer disciple of the academy. Make it up 30 and the rank of inner disciple is yours. Climb 50 and you join the main branch, learning from every elder in the academy. And whoever reaches the very top enters the secret group. Blandin brags that up there they teach techniques over 1,000 years old. He's a 4th level cultivator, so this year, 30 steps and inner discipleship are as good as his. The girls beside him just scoff. 4th level? Compared to their little brother Limo, he's nothing. Overhearing this, the blonde challenges Limo to settle it on Mount Linu and see who's stronger. Limo snaps, calling Blandin an arrogant brat, and warns him to keep his distance during the climb or get kicked off. Ling Fong, who studied 3,000 sacred mountain books, all worth more than anything Linu Academy owns, has shown up for this contest too. Still, that alone won't cut it. He needs to drink the chi of earth and heaven. Looking at the crowd, the girl says she needs Linu Academy's resources to fully recover. Hearing this, he tells his sister not to worry. He's not the man he was, and he will get into that academy. But his enemy's cackling won't leave him alone. Blandin taunts him. Here for the annual checkup? He can't even reach step 2, can he? The guy asks, puzzled, who this clown even is. The one who'll crush you, says the blonde. Ling Fong chuckles and tells Goldie, someone's shopping for a funeral. Goldie hears the cue and balloons into a full-sized lion. Blandin takes one look and screams for help. A master rushes to the blonde's rescue, stepping in and trading a blow with Goldie. The teacher calls the guy trash and asks if he's tired of living. Furious, Ling Feng says he's happy to fight him too. Right then, the head of the academy himself arrives and shuts it all down. It's test day. Nobody needs extra trouble. The leader announces the rules are unchanged. 5 steps within 2 hours earns the rank of external student. 30 steps makes you an inner disciple of the academy. With that, the head sends the young hopefuls off to give their best. Eyeing the mountain, the guy's sister frets. Linwei Mountain radiates natural pressure. Even level 4 cultivators struggle here. And with this boy's supposed talent, the crowd figures he won't even top the first step. Limo quickly learns how brutal it is. He's stuck on step 1, unable to move further. Spotting Blondin ahead, he growls that he won't lose to him. Blondie smugly lets him know otherwise. Limo grinds out only 4 steps. The blonde is already lounging on the 5th, mocking him. The observer announces Ayun as the first accepted disciple of Lin's martial arts academy. With strength like that, inner discipleship is well within reach. Limo claws his way to the 5th step too. But there, Limo stalls, and the observer can see he's running on fumes. Then the woman notices a girl standing in the crowd and wonders who she is. Striking, eye-catching, and clearly not from any of the families. Now it's Ling Feng's turn. His sister reminds him mountain climbing is no joke. It takes real strength. But Ling Feng isn't chasing glory just yet. He calls for everyone's attention. Some of them, after all, look pretty upset. Not many from their families ever climb far, he notes. He can bring them back down. For a fee, naturally. His sister asks what exactly he's plotting. Simple, he says. He's here to make money. One intrigued man takes the bait, calling Ling Feng ambitious, and offers a gold coin to throw Ayan off the mountain. The guy's confidence is off the charts. Consider it done, he tells the man. Ayan's coming down. The watcher overhears and scoffs. Bring Ayan down? He'll only humiliate himself. His sister tells him not to be an idiot. The mountain's pressure is crushing. But the grin on his face suggests otherwise. At the mountain's base, Ling Feng gauges the pressure at 600 jin. For ordinary folks, that's a serious wall. The man who paid the coin watches him closely. Curious how exactly Ling Feng plans to humble Ayun. Here's the math, Ling Feng muses. The mountain presses down with 600 jin, while a bronze body cultivator normally handles just 250. The men rub their eyes as the guy strolls on to step 2. Surely, they insist, that's where his luck runs out. Then, Ling Feng shifts gears, climbing so fast the impressed onlookers lose count of the steps. The head watches and thinks, talented kid. His sister's cheering doesn't hurt either. Every shout pumps more strength into him. The mysterious stranger watches Ling Feng blink his way up to step 5. Her verdict? This one's a monster. Then he pulls level with Ayun. We meet again, he says, adding that someone paid a gold coin to have him removed. Ayun is still processing how Ling Feng reached step 10 when the guy grabs him by the scruff and hauls him down. Suddenly, a man shouts at Ling Feng to release Ayun, offering double the gold coins. Another man, beside himself, rages that yanking Ayun off the 10th step has ruined everything. Not his fault, Ling Feng shrugs. Blame their family. He's just a professional, doing his job. The man's blood is up now. Another gold coin he offers if the guy brings down Li Mo as well. Ling Feng announces a price update. Person number 2 costs 20 gold coins. The man goes red at the quote. That kind of money could keep a small family comfortable for life. But a rival butts in. His family will happily pay 20 gold to see the second genius of the Aochi family come down. Deal accepted. Ling Feng flashes up the mountain and delivers the Aochi genius straight to the bottom. And the rates keep climbing. The next takedown, he declares, costs 100 gold. The same man returns with a counteroffer, 130 gold, but only to drop Li Mo. Then a second bidder jumps in at 150, and the whole thing erupts into one big scandal. The first man hurls him a sack of gold, demanding Li Mo's removal. The guy snatches the bag. Consider it done. Right then, Fashanu appears, sword aimed at Ling Feng. The guy reacts instantly and cracks him in the jaw. Li Mo delivered downstairs. Ling Feng keeps raising the stakes. 400 gold for victim number 4. But the men's purses are empty. Frustrated, the guy starts heaping scorn on them. Then he floats a truly wicked option. About 40 people are on that mountain, and keeping each one up there costs 10 coins. Nobody pays? Everybody comes down. The men decide he's lost his mind and itch to teach him a lesson. But the dean himself is watching. The Ojia family goes first, offering an egg casket they swear is a family treasure. Collecting a little from everyone, the guy senses one unpaid account. Spotting the stranger, he points straight at her. What family is that girl from, he demands. She owes too. The men burst out laughing. Oh, he's in for serious trouble now. Planting himself in front of her, he asks what family she's from and why she skipped the payment line. The indignant girl asks who he thinks he is. The nerve, disrespecting her. He fires back angrily that he's the one asking questions here. She calls him baby and asks if he's looking for trouble. Then, skipping the answer entirely, she throws a punch. She never expected him to be this strong. Clutching her hand, she's visibly upset about it. The guy laughs that an old lady stuck at level 7 will never lay a finger on him. Old lady? The girl insists she's obviously smart, beautiful, and the same age as him, thank you very much. Her patience with this rude fellow finally snaps, and in fury she strikes hard at the bells. He catches her hand and slings her over his shoulder. Not his equal, he declares. Watching this, the head boils. Ling Feng is humiliating Bin Ming. Dropping her on the ground, Ling Feng asks where she came from and tells her family to come collect her. The head storms in, calling the boy stupid. How dare he strut around after treating one of their teachers like that? A teacher? Ling Feng is baffled. Since when does level 7 qualify anyone to teach, he asks. Madame Bing Ming is their new alchemist, the head explains. Just 21, yet her strength is extraordinary. Her martial level is average because she's a student, and she climbed the mountain to test her talent. And this idiot pulled her down anyway. His sister leaps to his defense, telling the dean that Ling Feng barely knows how the academy works, and begging him to forgive her brother. She tells him to apologize to Madame Bing Ming, but his pride slams that door shut, and he runs off. Running, Ling Feng realizes that after insulting a teacher like that, his academy admission is as good as dead, which leaves one option. Climb the mountain and let his skills do the talking. Full focus on the climb now. If Linu Academy expels him from the trial, it'll be too late. So, time to conquer this mountain, says Ling Feng. The dean admits that without such great talent, the boy would already be disqualified. But the girl waves it off. She forgives him. The dean takes her at her word and lets it slide, noting that Ms. Bin Min is not someone to be offended, and the boy should thank her for her mercy. But Bing Ming's smile hides a scheme. She's letting him into the academy for one reason only, revenge. He just doesn't know it yet. Facing the slope, fists clenched, the boy tells Mount Lin he intends to admire her scenery from the very top. Once he's calmed down, he catches up to the boys he'd hauled off the mountain earlier. Seeing him appear beside them, they're floored by his speed. Ling Feng needles them to hurry up. Self-proclaimed geniuses ought to mind their reputations. Step 29. One more, the boy notes. And inner discipleship is his. As his foot lands on step 30, the men murmur in surprise. The first inner disciple of the year has arrived. Bing Ming watches Ling Feng clear 30 stairs and catches herself wondering, just how high will he go? The dean, reading his strength, predicts 60 steps. Bing Mo notes how highly the dean rates Ling Feng's abilities. In Ling Academy's entire history, only a handful ever touched step 60, and Xie Yun, the academy's first dean, topped out at 65. The pressure on him now is around 200 pounds, pocket change. 40 steps of climbing ahead. But at step 50, the sweat starts pouring. By 60, his blood pressure spikes hard. The dean can barely contain his joy, declaring that Linu Academy must focus on Ling Feng's development. Digging deep, the guy pushes himself harder. Resisting the pressure is getting properly rough now, but he knows his body. 2,500 pounds is his limit, and he's set on reaching the summit. Climbing higher and higher, he doesn't even notice the moment he breaks the first dean's record. His sister screams that he's amazing. He's just made Linu Academy history and set a brand new record. The men grumble about this lucky brat. Next to Ling Feng, Li Mu and Ai Yun aren't worth his little finger. Step 68. The pressure tops 2,000 Jin, but 3,000 or 4,000 wouldn't stop him either. Because today, he declares, this magnificent mountain is where he surpasses his own limit. The dean is astonished. Mount Linu exists to forge young people's grit and martial skill, and Ling Feng is proving an even greater genius than he imagined. The pressure hits 4,000 Jin. Does he feel no pain at all, Bing Ming wonders? Then, abruptly, he stops dead. Ling Feng has reached step 99, where the pressure crushes down at 5,000 Jin, and still he's ready to take the top. Squeezing out every last drop of strength, he does it. The summit. The observers simply can't believe their eyes. His sister is over the moon, hardly able to process that Lingfeng is standing at the top. Ms. Bingming remarks that inner disciples were a letdown this year, but they've gained their first spiritual disciple ever. Arms raised, Lingfeng shouts in triumph. Then something catches his eye, a book resting on a rock. Picking it up, he finds a technique manual of the ancient Lin Wushan family, though only a basic first-level skill. In the Tao, techniques run the full range from strong to weak. Above them sits the Xuan Huang heavenly level of the fourth order, which itself branches into the finer spiritual, honorable, and divine techniques. In his past life, the guy was a saint who handled peerless skills daily. To him, this book is scrap paper, but for the locals, it's a gold mine. Back at the bottom, his sister tackles him in a hug. Lingfeng tells her not to worry. He's perfectly fine. The dean walks over and declares Lingfeng excellent, fully qualified to be a spiritual disciple. The teacher asks whether he's ready to take the rank. He says yes, but adds a twist. He wants to study alchemy. The dean is floored. With the academy's finest talent, focusing on self-improvement would make his achievements limitless. Alchemy is a different beast from cultivation, he warns. Great talent or not, taking it up will likely lead nowhere good. Lingfeng explains that Linu Academy's techniques mean nothing to him. Resources are what he needs, and alchemy is the fastest pipeline to them. Then Miss Bingming suddenly cuts in, backing Lingfeng. Across the Sinui continent, alchemists enjoy more prospects and more respect. Lingfeng holds firm on becoming an alchemist, and this woman clearly doesn't care what anyone thinks. Seems like a decent person, he decides. The dean urges him not to be so reckless. This choice could seal his fate. Such talent going to waste is a tragedy, plain and simple. Ms. Bingming greets her new student, Lingfeng. She's the academy's only alchemy professor, she says, and asks why he's so set on the craft. The only alchemy professor? The guy perks up considerably. Then again, Ms. Bingming's smile looks suspiciously demonic. Starting tomorrow, his life is clearly about to get a lot more complicated. The dean sidles up with a parting offer. If alchemy ever bores him, his door is always open. On his way out, Lingfeng remembers the book from the summit and asks the dean to help him make sense of it. Bakan says it's simple stuff, a spiritual skill even a total ignoramus could grasp. Word of the book spreads instantly. Men crowd around Lingfeng, offering 100 gold coins for it. He's not interested. One man begs for just a look at the book. Sure, says the guy. Looking costs 100 gold. To the dean, though, this skill is a true rarity. He never expected the boy to be holding something like it. Then a second man steps up with 1,000 gold coins, just so Ayun can take a look. Ayun admits he only had time to read 2 sentences and couldn't even memorize them. The book runs dozens of pages. Even 100,000 gold wouldn't buy real understanding from a glance. Undeterred, the man orders his children to sprint home and haul back every gold coin they own. Lingfeng watches the frenzy and tells them not to rush. Form an orderly line, please. But closing time arrives. It's late, Lingfeng announces. He's heading home. The man fumes. No chance to read, a pile of coins spent, and nothing to show for it. That night at home, he lays out the entire day's haul of riches. His sister stares. She's never seen this much money in her life. He promises that as long as he's around, poverty is permanently off the menu. Now, about studying alchemy at the academy. He suspects the professor plans to drag him through hellfire, so buying some protective gear seems like a wise investment. Their arrival at the academy next day turns every head. Where did these two get a cold lion and golden armor from? The guy tells Goldie he's off to the alchemy department. Goldie's assignment? Protect sister. Inside the alchemy department, Miss Bingming is already waiting, holding a whip made especially for Lingfeng. Bingming asks what on earth he's wearing. New armor, he says. It'll help him during training. Miss Bingming orders the armor off. Wearing it to protect himself from her, is he? Well, if that's the case, by all means, keep it on. Lesson 1, she announces, is operating the cauldron. Today he'll wear the cauldron and learn its structure inside out. Lingfeng's eyes burn with interest, ready for anything. Miss Bingming notes his optimism. The cauldron is waiting. Standing before the alchemical furnace, he realizes it's bigger than his house. Hoisting it up, he estimates 5,000 pounds. Perfect training weight, actually. Bingming tells him to put it down before he levels the place. Then she hands him instructions on using the alchemy furnace. Instructions in hand, the guy is delighted and dives right in, only to be greeted by the master's spectacularly bad handwriting. Her penmanship is a disaster, he concludes, but the explanations are excellent. He'd read a few alchemy books in his past life, though he never gained real experience. Across the continent, alchemy students fall into several categories, and spirits too come in different types. Reading done, the master quizzes him. What separates cleansing pills from straightening pills when it comes to fire control? Both types give off heat, the guy answers, but fire must be blended with air and medicine. His alchemy journey is only just beginning. When he praised himself, he thought the master would try to humiliate him. But the boy was born with a very good memory, and he can remember all the 3,000 books he read on the holy mountain. As he immersed himself, he realized that learning alchemy required pure qi, but he still couldn't use it, and climbing the mountain helped him a lot. After all, tonight he would be able to reach level 5. After reaching level 5, he decided that he needed to try out his new power. He realized that even though he was at level 5, he was no weaker than cultivators at level 6. After all, he had become stronger than in his previous life. The next fine day, a girl said that the liquid fire and animal blood needed to create a nourishing spiritual pill, in addition to the day cloud, immerse in the alchemical furnace, and everything was ready. Miss Bingming asked Ling Feng when he would start. As he started the process, Ming was surprised at the fact that he was at level 5. It turned out that Ling Feng was a very interesting person who had gotten a talent for alchemy and martial arts at the same time. But try after try, he couldn't do it. It was very difficult for him to control qi. Taking all the strength in his fist, he said that this was his 8th attempt, and this time he should succeed. Seeing him succeed, Miss Bingming was surprised that he had created a pill, and she realized that she had gotten herself a great treasure. Ling Feng said that the pill-making process consists of 4 steps: purification, fusion, first form, and formation. He withdraws the core base, and the fusion is successful. Miss Bingming was surprised that he managed to create a pill in 3 hours, and he is a genius child. She told Ling Feng that he had done a good job, but that he could do better, for she thought that praise might weaken him. Taking his hands to his side, Ling Feng said that unfortunately it took him 3 hours to finish, and he wondered, how much time did it take her? When she heard such a question, she became agitated and coughed. After all, it takes her 3 days to do this process. Ms. Bingming decided to give Ling Feng 3 months to create 7 basic pills. The boy told her that half a month was enough for him. Half a month later, he came to Miss Bingming with the pills ready. Wiping her eyes, she was surprised. Ling Feng was told by her teacher that rubbing her eyes was useless, for it didn't seem like an illusion to her. She asked him with surprised eyes how he managed to create 7 kinds of pills in such a small amount of time. The guy said not only did he make them, but he also made 5 others, but they're not finished yet. Hearing this, she was very happy for him, and said that he would become a legend of this continent. Ms. Bingming reflected that it took her 6 months to become an alchemist. What's surprising is that Ling Feng is better than her. After all, he is the genius of Linu Academy. But suddenly, while discussing all this, they heard a strange sound. Bingming said it sounded like it came from outside. And Ling Feng recognized the voice and said it was Goldie. While outside, a girl was hurting his sister and wanted his sister to give her the little lion. After all, she wants to trade it for 2 spiritual pills. The sister said Goldie is part of her family, and under no circumstances would she sell him. The girl sighed and said she was giving her one last chance or she wouldn't leave in one piece today. With a wave of his rope, Goldie jumped at her, but she stiffened and told him that no entry-level monster dared growl at her. With angry eyes, the girl told the little lion cub if he didn't follow her, she would kill him. The girl thought it was an insult to have such an ugly girl in the academy, and today, she will tell her grandfather to expel her from the academy. Lena. The sister asked Mojan to stop this torment. After all, she and her brother were having a lot of trouble getting in, but the anger in Mojang's eyes grew bigger and bigger, and no girl like her would dare to speak her name. But Ling Feng manages to grab that rope, but she asked him how dare he stand in front of her. Ling Feng asked her name, Mojan, but Mojan told him to stop saying her name with his foul mouth. But the situation was so serious that Ling Feng told Mojan that it would end today. Striking Ling Feng, he said that he was a level 5 warrior with a bronze body, and he would easily defeat a level 2 warrior like her. She didn't expect him to be able to fend her off with the whip. He came up to her and said that she had hurt her sister, so he would kill her. But before he struck, Mojan said that she was the granddaughter of the greatest teacher Mojan, and he can't kill her. As he struck near her head, he realized he had to protect his sister, and he couldn't kill her. My sister said he scared her to death, and she thought he was going to kill her, but luckily he didn't. Ling Feng said he was fine, but she was very badly hurt and gave her a recovery pill. But suddenly, some uncle came out of the crowd and asked Ling Fong, how dare he hit Mojan? Uncle said he was expelled from the academy anyway, and that he shouldn't dare come tomorrow. Ling Fong asked him what he would do if he came tomorrow. Pointing his finger, the uncle said he dared to hit her granddaughter, and the teacher doesn't want him. Guy told him not to make him angry. Even if the greatest teacher comes, he will not stop in front of him. When the teacher saw this, he was surprised at his evil power. But suddenly, Miss Bing Ming intervened and asked Bai Bao what he wanted to do with his disciple. After all, he didn't understand the situation, and he didn't judge fairly, and without reason, he dared to accuse her student. So Miss Bing Ming decided to tell what had happened. She said that Mojan was arrogant and oppressive, for she dared to hit her Uchen's sister and his lion, and her disciple was just defending himself. And, in a word, Mojan deserved to be beaten by Ling Feng's hands. Bai Bao said to Miss Bing Ming, even if she feels that way, how could he explain it to Elder Mo Shan? Bing Ming said if Mo Shan wants to fight, then let him come to her, and from tomorrow, Bai Bao must not come to the academy. But suddenly one of the teachers came in and started hitting on Bin Min, saying, why is she defending this Mauser? The teacher told the dean that Ling Feng had severely injured Mojan, and suggested to the dean that justice be done. But Bing Ming was not silent either, and told Dean Mo that her disciple had surpassed Mojan, who had recently become an inner disciple. And she also said in confidence that Ling Feng had become a DPNG Shi rank novice alchemist. Dean's eyes widened at what he heard. He couldn't believe it. He ended the argument with the words, that's all for today, and told the elder not to get involved in the children's fights, for Mozanu had had a hard time these days and told the master to teach her well. Dean Mo was happy to hear this because in just half a month, Ling Feng had become a Dansha rank alchemist. And right now, Ling Feng was more important than Mojan. Miss Bing Ming told Ling Feng that he always gets into trouble like that, and at the very least, he should thank her for her help. Bing Ming prompted Jing Chung to better not go to places like the Outer Ward, and told her to come to the Alchemy Gate later. She would find her a teacher. But suddenly, the incomprehensible occurred to Ling Feng, and he undressed, thanking Bing Ming for helping her sister, and never put on the armor again. Miss Bing Ming said although today's problem is solved, she cannot guarantee it in the future. After all, she will not be able to interfere in the problems of the younger generation. Coming to the battle arena, everyone was discussing how Ling Feng had defeated a rank 2 warrior. Balandon said it was because of his armor. If he was without it, he would be defeated quickly. But suddenly, someone shouted that Ling Feng is going to fight again, and he makes to fight Brother Osheng. Brother Osheng is one of the top 5 disciples, and he has a lot of fighting experience. Osheng told Ling Feng how he dared to hit Mrs. Mojan, but also insulted the elder. So he offered to teach him a lesson. Ling Feng said that he had met many people like him, and they had all been defeated by him. He wanted to try out his new powers. Ocean told Ling Feng that he was too vain and he should destroy him today. But this did not frighten Ling Feng and called Ocean a dog and told him not to just stand there but to go and fight him. Pulling out his sword, he jumped up and told Ling Feng that he should die for insulting the teacher. Ocean wondered how Ling Feng could move so fast, but then realized that he had mastered the speed skill. But still, he was not worthy of fighting him. Ocean told him that the worst solution, Ling Feng, was to take off his armor. After all, it was only with its durability that he was able to strike Madame Mojan, and used a yellow-level attack skill, Heaven Blast. But this didn't surprise Ling Feng in the slightest, and he responded with a mutual strike with the Ice Moon Palm. It turned out that Ling Feng's strength was at a high level, and Ocean was surprised that Ling Feng blocked his sword attack. A satisfied and tailed Ling Feng said that, against that arrogant Ocean, he hadn't even revealed all his cards and he had lost so easily, telling the guys who were cheering for Ocean that it was their turn to fight him. But before Ling Feng could finish his words, they were gone. 3 days later, at the Alchemy Gate of Linu Academy, Miss Bing Ming heard that there was noise outside again. Miss Bing Ming told Ling Feng that from today, he would start making mid-level pills. An overjoyed Ling Feng said that it would only take him 3 days for him to make. 3 days had passed since the assignment, but the cure had not been made. But Ling Feng had set off several explosions in the alchemy furnace. A sad Ling Feng told teacher Bing Ming that he wanted to rest. After all, there are bound to be a few days like this every month. But this didn't please teacher Bing Ming because he hadn't finished making the pills yet and asked for a rest, she said, and asked him for another explanation. But Ling Feng actually said that he was about to reach the 5th level of martial arts and needed to be alone for a few days. But suddenly, the sisters saw that Ling Feng had recovered. Lingfeng said the day he climbed Mount Linu and the mountain accelerated his healing, and then he said that he started practicing, for he was now at the 4th level of martial arts. Closing her eyes, teacher Bingming thought his words were complete nonsense. However, Qi energy was very important for making pills, so she decided to give him a few days of rest. Lingfeng's sister hugged him and said that she had actually, with the help of his pill, she too had reached the 4th level of martial arts, and she didn't think that he would be able to catch up to her so quickly. Lingfeng said that he could become better. After all, he would make a top-level pill to cure her icy soul, and the first pill he made, he decided to eat himself. While resting, Lingfeng thought that the road of emptiness was moving him to the next level very quickly. It was still only 3 days since he arrived in the wilderness, and he had already managed to reach the 9th level of martial arts. A disciple of Dao Chang's 9th level of martial arts, he has already reached it. However, this time, he wants to go beyond it and reach the frontier of martial arts. Though the elixir won't help him because success depends on ability. He failed to achieve it in a previous life, but there are only a few people in the history of the Holy Mountain. Lingfeng needs to break through all 9 levels and then reunite, but luckily his body can withstand the true agony of destruction. Eventually reaching the borders, his power will be much higher than that of an ordinary warrior. Repeating the same words that he needed to break through the 9 levels and then unite again, he did so and gained very powerful strength. Having reached the boundaries of martial arts, Lingfeng was very happy. But suddenly, he heard some strange growls. He saw one-eyed wolves, but that didn't scare him, and he decided to practice with level 3 wolves. Using the Moonstrike attack, Lingfeng dealt heavy damage to them, but they were also smart and decided to jump on him all at once. But this was also in Lingfeng's favor, because he had a technique called Heavenly Power, someone's dragon power, in reserve. After defeating the wolves, Lingfeng felt that he had reached the limit of martial arts. Only his body strength wasn't enough. It seemed he needed to keep practicing, he said. Taking the wolf on his back, he felt they were heavy and just decided to practice with them. But he remembered that he had already been in this wilderness for 9 days, and if he stayed any longer, his sister would kill him. All these beasts weigh about 3 tons, Lingfeng said, and this would allow him and his sister to eat for a long time. Before, in the cold mountains of Wushan, it could only barely hold a load of 2.5 tons, but now it could not only carry 3 tons, but also run at the speed of the wind. But suddenly he didn't notice one of the wolves pouncing on him, and it was the king of the one-eyed wolves, who had come to bring back his brothers. But after striking him, the wolf simply passed out. Lingfeng said that his punching force was equal to 1.5 tons, and even if he is a level 4 king, his death has long since been attributed. When she came home, sister flew into the room and was very glad that Lingfeng had returned. And these few days that he had been away from home had made her very worried, she said. Lingfeng told his sister that there was no need to worry. He had just gone to a quiet place for a few days, and no more. Seeing the one-eyed wolves, sister told Lingfeng that he shouldn't take such a risk. It was too dangerous. Lingfeng said that he wasn't going to mess around with his own life. After all, his body is strong enough to deal with any beasts that meet in his path. The sister told Lingfeng that because he came back late, Master Bingming was very angry, and she often hears her sharpening her knife. Entering the academy, Lingfeng asked why it was so noisy. Is there an event coming up? His sister told him while he was away. He missed a lot. And today is the open competition between Linu Academy and Mo Yunchong Academy. Lingfeng said that he had heard of Mo Yunchong. It was a school located in Shenmo. However, what was the reason for the open competition, he thought. Sister said that every 3 years, Mo Yunchong and Linu Academy have a competition between the students. It's called Molindabi, and as long as there is such a competition, the students of both academies can compete. The guy realized that this was a low-level competition. The level of the participants and the level of our students had nothing to do. He said he would watch outside just to avoid meeting Bingming's teacher. The people watching the competition said that Linu Academy would give the winner a yellow-grade weapon, and the reward from Mo Yunchong Academy was training 1 set of brown-grade techniques. Hearing this talk, my sister said that she had never seen or heard of yellow-class weapons. Hearing his sister's words, Lingfeng hesitated. After all, it was all useless to him. But it seems that his sister's interest had appeared in the yellow-grade weapons. Looking at the opponents, the guys from Linu Academy said that they had only won once in the last 4 competitions. But this year's side has 3 talents, Mo Lan, Ao Shen, and Qian Yang. And they can't lose to Mo Yangzan. Mo Zhan said that they should win this year. and they will definitely have a set of their brown class techniques. Shen didn't distinguish himself either, and said that Mo Yunzong, against their topmost experts, they would undoubtedly lose. But suddenly, an elder came and said that Mo Yunzong's disciples would be here soon. He told the students to get ready. After all, we need to showcase the power of the academy to Lin. Shen told the elder not to worry. After all, they had prepared well, and there was no way they would lose to Mo Yunsong Academy. Upon meeting Mo Yunsong Academy, Elder Li said that he was personally leading the team, and he was waiting to personally greet them. Academy Mo Yunsong thanked them for waiting for them and apologized for keeping Elder Mo waiting. When she saw Mo Yunsong's students, she said that they looked like a bunch of weaklings. They looked like weaklings. Disciple Mo Yunchang said that there was no need for their fourth disciple to take up the task, as he, Wang Shan, was capable of defeating them all without a problem. The disciples of Mo Yunsong Academy said, let them do what they want, because if they weren't there, they wouldn't have anyone to mock. The elder walked over and said that it was time for the competition to begin. And a disciple of Mo Yunchang Academy, Wang Shan, walked onto the battlefield and motioned for someone to come up to fight. The fearless and courageous academy disciple Ao Shan stepped onto the battlefield and said that he had come to defeat him. A Shan Academy disciple attacked him with a sword, but Wang Shan's strength exceeded him by far, and with just a sweep of his arm, he defeated the level 7 disciple. Wang Shan laughed and asked, all the disciples of Linu Academy are so weak? If that's the case, then he will really deal with all of them. The guys of Linu Academy were outraged by Wang Shan's antics and welcomed Li Liang from the academy, and he arrived to duel with him. But that didn't scare Wang Shan either, because he said it doesn't matter to him who he fights when the final is the same. Li Liang attacked him with his level 8 sword with a slashing attack, but Wang Shan used a hidden strike and defeated him. The guys were very disappointed because it was the 8th time they failed. After watching the fight, Ling Feng said that Wang Shan didn't have opponents of the disciple level of such strength. The head of the academy, Mo Yuncong, told Mo Shan's brother that her student already had the level of a martial arts expert. Thus, it could be helped that Wang Shan was stronger than all of his students. Mo Shan laughed and said that most of his Linu Academy disciples had surpassed the level of experts, so they would not be able to defeat them. The head of the academy, Mo Yunchong, said that Mo Shan speaks as if his experts are very strong, and he can't wait to see them. Wang Shan said that defeating her would be the 9th consecutive victory. When he entered the fight, he realized that she was a martial arts expert. He's going to have a tough time. Mo Lan told him that he was unfortunately not high enough to fight her yet. After launching an attack, Mo Lan stunned Wang Shan and said in the future when he saw her, it was best to avoid her. But the second student of the academy, Mo Yongzun, came out to fight. He heard Mo Lan's words and said that he would only remember the Ana of his defeated opponent. Mo Lan called him naive and said she would destroy him. But all the girl's blows were repelled. She realized that her punch was suppressed, and his style was very similar to Ling Feng's, so fast and ruthless. Mo Yuncheng's disciple told her that she had used 2 techniques and defeated Wang Shan, but he would use 2 techniques and defeat her. Entering the battle, Mo Shan realized that her affairs were not good, and she was defeated by Mo Yunzong's disciple. When she came to her senses, the first thing Mo Shan asked was how the competition was going. But this guy was beating everyone who stood in front of him. Mo Shan realized that Lin Du turned out to be a 4th-level martial arts expert, and he had no trouble defeating their 2nd-level experts. The head of the academy, Mo Yunsong, told Elder Mo Shan that if Linu Academy didn't have people capable of taking the fight, then this year's competition could be ended. But suddenly, someone shouted from the crowd to wait. It was Ling Feng, who said that he hadn't come out yet. He went up to the guys and told them they were all worthless because they had allowed some lowlife to beat them up. Elder Mo Shan also scolded Elder Mo Shan for unrequitedly approaching the competition without summoning Ling Feng to fight. But this did not please Elder Mo Shan and called him a rascal. And how dare he talk to him in such a tone, he asked. For that matter, said Elder Mo Shan, they are asking one of the top disciples to come out to fight Ling Feng. Since he's such a boy and is thinking of fighting against Mo Yunzong's disciples, he'll help him. But after he waits for him to defeat him, he will have a serious conversation with Mo Shan said. Ling Feng thanked Elder Mo Shan for his support and said that a stick like this would be enough for him to deal with a few weaklings from Mo Yunsong. 1 man, 1 stick will kill them all. The opponent told Ling Feng that he could still leave, but if he dared to enter the competition, he would immediately break his leg. But Ling Feng was not intimidated by this and arrived already for the fight. His opponent said that if he dared to come, there was no need to accuse him of being ruthless. Ling Feng said, to beat him, Opponent status is not enough. After all, among them, there is the only one who can fight him, the best student of Mo Yunsong Academy. Mozan said that she thought that Lingfeng would challenge Lundu, but he ended up backing off, and in the end, he chose a no-name disciple. The opponent asked Lingfeng, did he want to challenge him? But he first said that Lingfeng should fight the first 4 disciples, and then he would think about it. Elder Mo Shan couldn't understand how Lingfeng could see that this young man was the best. However, seeing was one thing, but being able to win was another. The unknown opponent said that Lingfeng is brave, and he will agree to fight if Lingfeng can defeat them. The opponent said that he was a level 4 expert, and if he killed him, let Lingfeng not take offense. But Lingfeng was not intimidated by this, and said that he would beat him first, and he would consider it a warm-up. After striking Lingfeng, the opponent couldn't understand where Lingfeng had disappeared to, but at that time, Lingfeng was already behind him and said that he was too slow. The opponent decided to use his strongest yellow-level Mahamudra technique, but in appearance, this did not surprise Lingfeng. Lingfeng's sister saw that Lindu was using the destruction technique. Lindu is already quite powerful. It's impossible to imagine this young man being so strong. And Lingfeng was hit by the Budo. Lindu couldn't believe his eyes that his strongest punch didn't even hit Lingfeng, and he had gone somewhere else again. But Lingfeng had had enough of all this and decided to end this fight. With a backhand strike, Lingdu was defeated. The guys couldn't believe how Lundu was beaten by him with a stick. Not only was Lingfeng incredibly fast, but he also had such strength. Lingfeng stood in front of the disciples and said that Mo Yuncheng had 3 more inept students and told them to all get up. But the 4th level expert Dongfeng came out to fight. He said that if Lingfeng was so confident, he wouldn't treat him like that. Lingfeng said if the 3 of them went out, there might have been a chance, but counting on you alone was a big mistake. After all, they can't beat him. But Dongfeng realized that the boy was capable of destroying his techniques. Mo Yunsong's disciples were surprised that Lingfeng had calmly defeated the top 2, and Mo Yuncheng's disciples decided to go out with the 2 of them, and told Lingfeng not to make a big fool of himself. After all, the Sun brothers will bring him up. Lingfeng said that the 2 of them were also only level 4 experts, and asked them if they had come to face death together. After attacking Lingfeng, the brothers offered him a glimpse of their yellow level technique, Golden Hammer Strike, but these useless attacks did nothing for Lingfeng, and he said that they disappointed him. But the following blows were also in vain. After all, Lingfeng was so strong and fast that he snuck up from behind and said that in order to defeat him, he had to keep improving. Mo Yunsong's disciples had already realized that Lingfeng was truly unstoppable, taking 1 stick and beating 4 of their fighters. Mojin was surprised by his real strength. Whereas he had been easily attacked by her before, he now feared that she would be the end of him. Standing on the podium, Lingfeng asked them if there were any more who had not surrendered. He ordered those who had not surrendered to get up immediately, as there was no need to waste his time. Everyone refused to fight him. But a stranger from Mo Yongzun's team said he would fight him. This stranger's name was Dong Shui. The guy's exit was very uplifting. Mo Yuncheng Academy shouted for him to avenge them. Standing against each other, Lingfeng told him to show him how strong the Academy's top disciple, Mo Yuncheng, was. Dong Shui told Lingfeng to show his full power in battle. Otherwise, he had no chance against him. Lingfeng said when the need arises, he will definitely show his full power. Well then, Dong Shui said that he wouldn't waste time and ceremonize with him for too long and used a yellow level attack, the Mahamudra Strike. Lingfeng realized that this Dong Shui was not so simple. The same 4th level expert, but Mahamudra's strike is much more serious than Lundu's. Dong Shui said that it was just a warm-up. He decided to demonstrate 2 attacks in a row at once. Lingfeng said that it was unexpected that he was able to strike 2 punches at once at the same time. Dong Shui said that he couldn't imagine that Linu Academy had such disciples who could grapple with him for so long, and Dong Shui decided to use a black level technique. Chaotic Rock Strike. It was a surprise to you that he used techniques of this level. Lingfeng reminded him that he was in someone else's academy, and he wouldn't want him to ruin everything, and said that Dong Shui was making him surprised again, and decided to familiarize him with the power of the heavenly level technique. From the strong wind, the academy students couldn't open their eyes. After all, these 2 were very intimidating. Dong Shui couldn't imagine that his 4th level reception would not only not break him, but would leave Dong Shui at a disadvantage. But a satisfied Lingfeng asked if he had any other tricks. Dong Shui stood up and said that she was very strong and was a level 5 expert. The guys were wondering if she was a level 5 expert using level 4 techniques, Would Ling Feng be able to resist against her? Ling Feng said that she had finally decided to show all her skills. After all, a level 5 expert and level 4 techniques, this matched the abilities of a level 6 expert. It would be a good training for him. Dong Shui told Ling Feng that he was very lucky, so she would show him the most powerful attack she could do. Ling Feng said that he was expecting this and shouted to hurry up and demonstrate her attack to him, and demonstrated a retaliatory sword strike with a force of 1.5 tons. Using a heaven-level technique and the Dragonfire Sword, Ling Feng chopped this stone into pieces, and after passing through the Firestone, Ling Feng said he had reached her and delivered a devastating blow. Standing in front of her, he said that Dong Shui was very resilient and strong, but unfortunately, she lost. Mo Yunsong Academy were very disappointed with the competition, because who would have thought that even Dong Shui would lose? Evil Mozan said that Ling Feng sooner or later would become their most dangerous enemy in the academy. Mo Shan stood up and said that the competition was over, and Mo Yuncheng's disciples were much stronger than before. But the head of the academy, Mo Yunzan, was also surprised and said that Linu Academy still had real talents with great potentials. The head of Mo Yunsong Academy walked over to Ling Feng and said that this book was his reward. A black-level technician of Mo Yunsong Academy. Let him treat it with care. And Elder Mo Shan handed him the yellow-level weapon of Linu Academy. Ling Feng was overjoyed and thanked both elders. Ling Feng told his sister that his body is much more powerful, and he is not used to using weapons, and this precious sword he gives to her. Happy Sister took this precious sword in her arms and said that she would definitely cherish it. Opening Ling Feng's book, saw the chaotic rock-striking technique used by Dong Shui, and it was a technique he decided was very cool, so they decided to make an auction. Shouting that precious black-level black technique of Mo Yuncheng Academy, the starting price is 10 entry-level pills. Academy Elder Mo Yunsong saw this and said that this boy was so stupid, having acquired a black-level technique and not seeing it as something valuable. But how could he think of taking it and selling it, he thought. So the elder decided to buy it. He took the opportunity to return their book. It was somehow better than letting the people in Linu Academy practice it. But Elder Moshan also offered 15 pills. He decided to take the opportunity to buy it for their family because this chaotic rock strike is an excellent technique. But with each argument, the elders kept increasing the stakes and increasing the stakes. Ling Feng, who was watching, was glad, for the more they argued, the more money he would earn. But suddenly, the beautiful Miss Bin Min came and said that she was giving 100 entry-level pills. Elder Moshan said that Bing Ming is very cruel. The first sentence and immediately, such a big price. His pills are many, but not more than hers. Academy Elder Mo Yunsong decided to give 20 mid-level pills and told Ling Feng to know the measure because 20 mid-level pills were enough to buy any black-level technique on the market. But once again, Ms. Bing Ming stepped in and offered 40 pieces. But Academy Elder Mo Yunsong couldn't leave them the book and offered 50 mid-level pills. Taking the pills, Ling Feng thanked the elder and said that the next time he had such an opportunity to get rich, be sure to call him. Dong Shui left and told Ling Feng that today's competition was over. When they waited for the next competition between their schools, she would definitely destroy him. A joyful Ling Feng said that he was expecting her challenge, and in his mind he realized that this Dong Shui was not easy. Although he had defeated her, but in the end, he was experiencing internal discomfort. But suddenly, Teacher Bing Ming sneaked up and put her hand to Ling Feng's throat and said that it had been a long time since they had seen each other. The smiling Ling Feng was startled when he saw the tip of his sword and said, "Long time no see, Your Excellency." Bing Ming said to Ling Feng, "Apparently he outside has gained useful experience, but she doesn't know if his body can withstand a few cuts. This black-level Linka?" But a frightened Ling Feng said, "You what, Your Holiness? He'd better go make pills." But smart Bin Min asked him what other pills he had. He has a lot of pills at the moment. Noble Ling Feng said that these pills are for the teacher. With reverence, he held them out to Bing Ming and asked him to accept them. Taking the pills, Bing Ming said that it was a little small and sent him to make the pills and gave him 10 days. If he couldn't produce a solid pill, then let him wait for it. An outraged Ling Feng said 9 days wouldn't be enough and asked her if she wanted to kill him. Bin Min agreed with him. She said he had 2 choices, to go prepare the pills or to die now. Frightened Ling Feng said something will prepare pills, and in his mind, he realized that this lady was very cruel. After all, he had already made pills in solid form. but luckily he didn't die. But the dean came up to them and said that he was definitely not wrong, because he had heard that Ling Feng had saved the face of their academy. Placing his hand on Ling Feng's shoulder said that he was now able to defeat the best at the expert stage, an absolutely outstanding achievement. And the dean thinks that he should leave the alchemy department and move to him, become his disciple. But the indignant Miss Bing Ming didn't like it and asked the abbot how he could come and boss her around. Hearing these words from Ming Bing, the dean thought that she was evil, because she was the only one who could keep her students in fear. After all, Ling Feng is a true talent. The best way to develop his talent is through martial arts. Ling Feng didn't think for a long time and apologized to Dean and said that he liked making pills better. The joyful Miss Bing Ming realized that her charisma was too strong in front of them, and they didn't stand a chance. 10 days later, Ling Feng kept preparing pills, but all the agony and attempts were pointless. An indignant Miss Bing Ming said that these 10 days, Ling Feng was alone and didn't let her check on him, and as a result, she sees this. Ling Feng said, well, almost, and he wants to ask her to look at these 6 mid-level pills and successful preparation. Taking the pill in her hands, Miss Bing Ming said that Ling Feng was gifted in pill making. After all, he had advanced to a mid-level master of pill making. An overjoyed Ling Feng decided to ask Bing Ming for the weekend. But an indignant Bing Ming asked him why he needed a weekend again. Ling Feng said that he had discovered his own limitation, and he needed to calm down and meditate for a while. Otherwise, something like a furnace exploding might happen. Bing Ming said that a master in pill making is different from a martial arts expert. It's more about talent and intelligence than hard work. It is indeed necessary to reflect on it properly. The teacher agreed to give him a rest and gave him 10 days off, and if he didn't return after 10 days, she would not be ceremonious with him. A surprised Ling Feng said that he would definitely come back. Sister hugged Ling Feng and told him to come back early and not to make her worry about him. But when he left, he fell into the deafness. He said that he was Ling Feng, a talent in martial arts, in his rebirth having reached the limit of the disciple level, so unexpectedly would die here today. Stallo, the wild beasts, took him and chased him into a tree. This became the 5th level of a martial arts expert. He realized that he hadn't fully recovered from the battle with Dong Shui yet, and right now, he shouldn't be directing them at himself. He was very cautious. The skin of these boars is tough, and the meat is rough, but against all odds, he decided to attack them. I can't beat them. I can't run either. It looks like he only has one choice left. He's raising his level of martial arts proficiency right now. After taking the pill, he reached the boundary, but he still wanted to go up. He began to feel that he was about to reach the top. At the apprentice level, he wouldn't have been able to overpower the boars, but now a single strike is enough. And that is the power of a martial arts expert. Ling Feng had broken through to the level of an expert, and none of these boars had pressured him. He was confident that he could progress so quickly. After cutting up the boar and putting it on the stove, Ling Feng ate it and decided to thank it for being so tasty. But suddenly, someone came out of the bushes and shouted for help, and they asked Ling Feng for help. Ling Feng asked who were they, and what are they doing here? They introduced themselves as Mo Humor's disciples, and they said that they were not criminals, but that they had come across a waterfall while practicing. And it's a very turbulent waterfall. You could die. Ling Feng said that the force of the current in the waterfalls is very huge, but not to the point where they are so frightened. The guys said the problem was in the pool into which the waterfall flows, and he found a spot there that had a golden sheen to it. Initially, they thought maybe it was some kind of healing agent or some kind of powerful weapon. Who knows, maybe this light can absorb people's consciousness. He just took one look, and a stabbing pain swept over his eyes. And they ran away as fast as they could, but about 10 of their brothers and mentors might die there. Ling Feng thought about the guy's words about the golden luster that could swallow a person's soul. Spending another day in the wilderness, Ling Feng found a waterfall powerful enough, and a great place to harden his body. Ling Feng considered because last night, those 2 disciples of Mo Yuncheng were talking about the golden luster that should be here. But suddenly, he saw a bright golden color in the water, and he jumped into the water after that light, for he thought that perhaps it was really a thing. And indeed, he felt the closer he got, the more painful his eyes became. When he reached the light, he saw the dead flower. In addition to martial arts and bodily techniques, there is another kind of technicians on the land of Lentu. They can kill people with the help of telekinesis. They are masters of spiritual techniques. However, those who wish to become a master of spiritual practice must first master telekinesis. and the golden flower is a kind of extinguisher of the souls of the dead. As he got closer, Ling Feng's body began to fail. He was trapped by this flower and couldn't move. Clutching at his throat, it was no longer easy for him to stay conscious. And he doesn't want to die that way. But suddenly a miracle happened, and something was pressed into his forehead. It seemed to be that mysterious golden seal that suppressed the effects of the flower and also took a hold of his soul. Ling Feng walked outside and watched the flower, which soon turned into a small golden sword, and Ling Feng himself began to feel some strange actions. After a while, he realized that he had acquired the skill of telekinesis and became a practitioner of spiritual power. Ling Feng said that the very powerful power of telekinesis was, roughly speaking, a threat to all life on Earth. The power of telekinesis is not a quick thing, and there's no need to rush. The most important thing right now is the waterfall hardening. We need to increase its ability to withstand 3 tons of force. 10 days later, Miss Bingming saw that Ling Feng had not returned. Out of anger that he was taking advantage of her, she stuck her sword into the table. For 10 days, Ling Feng had been in the middle of nowhere, practicing on a waterfall. After he learned to withstand a 4-ton load, he began to lose consciousness. But after a while, the boys from Linu Academy made their way into the wilderness. The conduit was the dean himself. The dean said, according to Ling Feng's capabilities, an expert-level werewolf wouldn't threaten him, so he must have gotten to this mountain range. Ms. Bingming said he's been missing for a month, and she thinks he must have been eaten by dogs by now. Sister said that in words, Teacher Bin Ming is very angry, lonely. She can see that deep down she is worried about Ling Feng, and this time specifically asked the head of the search team to join the search. But suddenly they heard loud noises, and Dean stopped them and said there was a huge werewolf in front of them. The sister shouted that it was Ling Feng. But when Ling Feng saw them, he was very happy and asked how they had come to be here. The evil Minbin tells him that he's fine now, but she assumes he'll be in trouble soon. After all, she had given him 10 days of rest, but he had extended the rest on his own to a whole month. Does he want to die, she asked. Hiding behind his sister, Ling Feng said that it was his fault. Next time, there was no way he would break his promise. Sister asked Ling Feng how his skin became so white. After all, it was darker before. Ling Feng said this was Ling Feng's 12th day in the wilderness. He remembers passing out then, and his body got even better. And it seems that while he was in a coma, the load his body could bear increased to 4 tons. And apparently, Ling Feng said hardening himself at the waterfall really does work, and he would like to continue. And in the past few days, the current has become stronger. The load has reached a force of 5 tons, said Ling Feng. 5 tons is the threshold, and if he was even more assertive, he would definitely achieve a breakthrough to the next level. And in reality, nothing had changed, and he was just bathing. And Ling Feng's body load threshold of 5 tons passed successfully. But that seal stuck in Ling Feng's head is the seal of true water. Miss Bingming asked Ling Feng was swimming. He was really enjoying the beauty of nature here, wasn't he? The dean told Bin Ming's teacher that she was being too aggressive. Because that's not the way to go, and that's not the way to get results. Therefore, Ling Feng, wouldn't you want to consider leaving the alchemy department? Asked the dean. After all, the dean would personally train him in martial arts and would absolutely become a new generation martial arts genius. Mingbing told the abbot that she needed to remind him of something. In 2 months' time, there will be an alchemist competition between Mo Yuno's academies, and Ling Feng is their special student in the alchemy department. And that's why this competition is so important to Lin's academy reputation. Guess we'll have to try to poach him next time. Ling Feng asked 2 months? That's very short. And he wondered, how many participants are involved? Bing Ming said that there would be 9 students from Mo Yutong coming, plus him, totaling 10 students. Ling Feng wondered if he could be the first out of 10. An angry Bing Ming said that she was going to slash him now, because he could make a pill better than everyone else and be the first. Bing Ming told Ling Feng to concentrate. Because Mo Yunsong was very strong, his opponent would most likely be more than one top-level master, so he should immediately prepare a top-level pill for her. Ling Feng decided that first, he would make a top-level sawtooth, use it to heal Cold Soul and her sister. Ling Feng tried to make pills, but every attempt was a failure. After all, these top-level pills were very complicated. Ling Feng told Bing Ming that he thought he was close, but unfortunately, he still didn't have enough perseverance. Ms. Bin Min said he's got a good pace. There's nothing to worry about. One step at a time and it'll work out. Ling Feng thanked the teacher and said that she was very kind to him. Ms. Bingming told him to try hard, and he should try harder. Cunning Ling Feng said that it was good that he hid it and the teacher didn't discover it. Otherwise, she would have taken the pill from him. The level of the pill is increasing, and so are the demands. If you want to reach perfection, you need to train hard every day, for several years. But Ling Feng was a talent in alchemy after all, and was unexpectedly able to find such a way to prepare the pill. All it takes is a little telekinesis. Focus his mind on the process of making the pills. The likelihood of success will immediately increase. The power of a spiritual master can materialize with great precision. The control of materialization in alchemy is in no way comparable to the abilities of an alchemist. And the probability of success, said Ling Feng, almost 100%, and equal to him cannot be found anywhere. Ling Feng said he should count. These days, behind Miss Bingming's back, how many pills above the level he secretly made? Miss Bingming said, even though Ling Feng constantly fails at making pills, he respects the teacher so he can consider that there is progress. Even if he doesn't make one top-level pill, he is still a good student of hers. A joyful Ling Feng said that all the pills that he had prepared is his. He won't even give one pill to teacher Bingming. Bingming said that this boy is getting better, despite a decade-long string of failures, and is listening to her more and more. And it seems it's easy to be a disciple. After a month, the boy tried every day. But why wasn't there a single successful day, she wondered. Walking into Ling Feng's room, Ling Feng was startled, for he saw the teacher. Miss Bingming said that because he hadn't made a pill in a month, she had come specially to look at his progress. Ling Feng asked her if she wanted to watch the process because it's not everyone's cup of tea. Miss Bingming controlled him resting on the hammock and asked him if he was ready or not because she was tired of waiting. Ling Feng said he was ready while she was sleeping, so he did everything and gave her one warm pill. As she looked at it, she asked if it was a top-quality flight. She called him a parasite because he had finally made a top-quality pill. Good job, keep trying, she said. But suddenly, one pill fell out of Ling Feng's pocket, and he realized that he'd been burned. When Bingming saw it, she said it was another top-quality pill. She didn't call him a scoundrel because he had actually been able to make a top-level pill before, and asked him to tell her how many pills he had made secretly from her. Frightened, Ling Feng said, not at all, just these two things. But actually, in his head, he remembered that he had made about 100 pills. If Bingming finds them, he's dead. Cutting open his pants, Binmin found more pills. She called him a nasty boy for not showing all the pills. Binmin said he's terrible because she trusted him, and she doesn't even expect him to take anything for himself. It's all hers. Binming said that she was patient and encouraged him sincerely, but he ended up playing with her. It seems there is no point in encouraging and treating such a person well, so it's better to be tough and strict, she thought. Previously, she had thought that if he improved his alchemy skill this month, it would be an achievement. But never even she had thought that he would be able to make the highest level pills. The day of the competition had arrived. Sister asked Ling Feng if he was well prepared for today's alchemy competition. After all, she had heard that Mo Yuncheng had quite a few top-level alchemy masters. Bingming showed his sister that these were all top-level saws created by his brother. After all, the best teachers have better students. Under her guidance, Ling Feng became a top-level alchemy master. Ling Feng said that as for the best teachers, the best students, this lady just ripped him off. Unfortunately, she doesn't know that he's not just some high-level alchemy master. Ling Feng said that he will definitely win the alchemy competition, and he already has a couple of trump cards ready for the competition. The dean told Ling Feng that they say the opponent is not weak at all, and asked him if he was confident. An overjoyed Ling Feng said that he was absolutely sure that he would be the best among all the students. Teacher Binming said that there are a total of 10 people and he will be the first, and if he can't take the first place, he shouldn't even think about asking for a vacation in the future. Ling Feng said that alchemy is not very important, but vacation is, and told the teacher to calm down because these 9 are just worthless, and watch him smear them. The gossiper said that Mo Yunzong's 9 disciples are extremely talented. There are already some really savvy top-level alchemy masters. The guy said it would be difficult then. After all, Ling Feng is a tough fighter. But as for alchemy, can he beat the masters? But suddenly, everyone shouted that Mo Yuncheng's men had arrived. It was a surprise to them that Director Xia had arrived in person. The dean said that this year was the first alchemist competition of the 2 academies. It was of great significance to their academy, and he welcomed Elder Lin. But suddenly, a disciple came up to Ling Feng and asked, is he the unique disciple of the alchemy faculty of Linu Academy? It is said that he is very tough in fighting. "What are his skills in alchemy?" he asked. When the disciples saw Ling Feng, they said that he was just a kid, and they thought he was fighting all the time. They're afraid he doesn't understand alchemy. Ling Feng just watched them laugh, and said when he won them, they would cry. The dean said since both teams were ready, he was ready to declare the alchemy competition open, and said that the competition will be held in 3 parts. The first part of the competition is to make a quality pill, no matter what level. The main thing is to make the structure as good as possible, and those whose pills are of the highest quality, move on. And after 4 hours, finish, and out of 10 contestants, 5 go on. Mo Young-chung, an alchemy student, told Ling Feng that 5 people were left in the first part. She said she thought Ling Feng would end it there. Ling Feng said that he wasn't worried about dealing with them at all, so he decided to borrow Bing Ming's chaise lounge to lie down. Miss Bing Ming wondered what this boy was doing, because during the first part of the competition, he suddenly decided to sleep. Elder Lin told Principal Xia that their disciple is indeed very peculiar, and he means that using such unusual methods will result in losing. The dean said that this student had a very special way of thinking that they, as elders, could not understand. Mo Young-chung, an alchemy student, said that she still wonders if he's really talented, but in reality, he seems like a total jerk. Miss Bing Ming asked Ling Feng if he was going to ask for a weekend off. If he won, she would give him 2 weeks off, but Ling Feng decided to put his own terms and offered a month. Bing Ming agreed to his terms. However, if he did not win, she would make him remember what inhumanity was. Ling Feng said that, and he will definitely win and make them remember what inhumanity is. The disciples heard what Ling Feng was saying. They said he was too arrogant. He's very smug and talkative, and he doesn't give them any credit. Ling Feng said that it looked like he would have to show what he could do in alchemy to these students. Bing Ming saw the cyclone of martial arts flooding in the process, and Ling Feng is surprising her more and more with his skills. The dean said that Ling Feng was incredibly surprised. Previously, he had assumed that he was only physically fit and a master of alchemy, but now he couldn't imagine that he was not only in good physical condition, but had also reached the level of a martial artist. Ling Feng's sister noticed that he was growing up very fast, and time flew by as he became a martial arts expert. The guys were also surprised that Ling Feng was a martial arts expert, and that he has incredible strength. Since Ling Feng had grown to become a martial arts expert, it turns out he had no time to study alchemy either, said for the guys. In the process of obtaining the pill, Ling Feng calculated every step, and finally moved to the power of telekinesis. But by then, the guys from Mo Yunzong Academy had already prepared pills, and were congratulating each other. However, they said Lin is the coolest. Not only is the quality perfect, but the pill is mid-level. Elder Lee said that these guys were just self-glorifying again. Although the pills are only entry-level and mid-level, but the quality is really good. The dean said that Mo Yun-chung could create talents, but he wondered if Mo Yun-chung's 9 students had already completed the task. But why Ling Feng hadn't finished it yet, with only 15 minutes left? Ling Feng realized that he was in bad shape. After all, firepower required more strength and control than telekinesis. The Mo Yunsong guys said that the 4th hour was about to end, and then the boy would never cook anything. And in their opinion, the competition could end. Bing Ming said considering Ling Feng's skills, he should have finished first. Why did he stall for so long, she thought. Did he have some unforeseen difficulties? But a friend boomed, and smoke sprinkled. The Mo Yunsong guys started laughing, and said they knew he wouldn't make it. But suddenly, he pulled a fry out of the oven and said it was hard. Ling Feng told the teacher not to worry. After all, he had done the sawing before them. It was just boring to rest, so he boiled some potatoes. But suddenly, he took out his pill. Mo Yongzhan's disciples were very surprised that he had created a top-level pill. Elder Lee took it in his hands and said that it was an exceptional talent. Not only did he make a top-level pill, but also a perfect quality pill. The distressed guys from Mo Yunzong Academy hated him, and Ling Feng smilingly wished them a good journey, for their paths were diverging. Mo Yun-chong's student hit Ling Feng and said that it was only the first round. After lunch, there would be a second round and they would tear it up. Ling Feng told her not to be in such a hurry, because when the time comes, he'll kill all 4 of them. The guys have realized that this kid is terribly talented, and it's not easy to get him out, so they need to come up with a plan. Elder Lee told the dean that Linu Academy has a really good student. The dean said it was very kind of Elder Lin. After lunch, the second part of the competition, we can rest for now. The dean said the second part of the competition is quantitative. Pill levels don't matter. Whoever makes the most pills wins. And after 8 hours, 3 contestants will be eliminated. Mo Yuncheng, a student at Mo Yuncheng Academy, told Ling Feng that he was very daring. But would he have the courage to make top-level pills with her, she asked. Ling Feng said that's what he needed, making top-quality pills. It's very interesting, and when the time is up, if she loses, he'll kick her. The apprentice agreed to his terms, and if he loses, she'll punch him in his piggy face. The dean told Ling Feng, "Don't let yourself be fooled. If you make low-level pills, you can make more." Bing Ming said to the principal that there was no need to worry. After all, Ling Feng is very smart, if he decides to accept the challenge. Rest assured that he will surely do well. Mo Yuncheng, a student at Mo Yuncheng High School, said that Ling Feng was caught. After all, only 2 people will come out of the 3rd round, and she will not let him go any further. After all, Ling Feng and her make top-tier pills together, so because there won't be enough of them, they'll be out. Ling Feng said that Mo Yuncheng's people are so stupid. After all, they assume that he doesn't see it, that it is a trick. So he thought it was time to show his first trump card. Disciple Lin said that he had easily made 10 mid-level pills to win for sure. Bing Ming said that the current situation was too dangerous. If Ling Feng wanted to be among the top 2, he would have to make at least 8 pills. But he chose to make the highest level. Academy student Mo Yunsong said that unfortunately, she didn't finish it. Out of the 5 top-level pills, she only finished 4, but luckily she hurt Ling Feng. After all, he wasn't done yet, and it looks like this is the first defeat she's left him with. But suddenly, a stone jumped out and hit that student. It was Ling Feng who apologized and said that he hadn't kept track of the time and the cauldron exploded. But the joyful disciple told Ling Feng that his cauldron had been blown up, therefore he had lost. But Ling Feng told her not to be angry, and threw her 1 top-level pill as damage. Taking the pill, she said he must have done something. However, if he only did one thing, it wasn't enough to win. Ling Feng said if 1 wasn't enough for her, he still had 9 grand and could give it to her. Bing Ming was surprised that he was making 10 top-level pills at a time. The boy suddenly hid this maneuver discreetly. Even she didn't know anything. The dean said that he had learned earlier that Ling Feng was terrifyingly talented in martial arts, but he couldn't imagine that his talent in alchemy was even more terrifying. Elder Li said that they had previously made Linu Academy a disgrace, but who would have thought that now they themselves would become so worthless? Mo Yunsong Academy's disciple Mo Yunsong was upset because all 3 of their disciples had been killed by this little guy. But Ling Feng shouted at her not to leave, and she asked him if she'd forgotten their bet. He hadn't kicked her yet. Elder Li said it's just an alchemy consciousness network, nothing more, and he didn't think it was necessary to use martial arts when using betting. Mo Yuncheng, a student of Mo Yuncheng Academy, walked up to Ling Feng and told him not to rejoice so early. After all, Brother Ling is a true alchemy genius. After giving her a kick in the ass, Ling Feng said that in the 3rd round, he would definitely make it. Seeing this, Elder Li said that even though he was not used as a martial arts expert, he was still very strong. Bing Ming told Ling Feng that tomorrow is the 3rd round, and if he is ready. After all, that Lin Shangtian is very capable and dangerous. They say he became a top-level alchemy master a few years ago. Ling Feng asked, "And what? A high-level master?" He is only concerned about one thing. "Teacher Bing Ming, month of vacation is still in force?" he asked. On the 2nd day, Ling Shan met Ling Feng and said that he would completely blow him away today. The smiling and strong Ling Feng told him that he was very cocky, and his words will ruin him. But suddenly, the dean came out and said that the 3rd round of the Li Nu and Mo Yunsong Academy Alchemist competition was open. And in this battle, it's Ling Feng versus Lin Shangtian. The dean said that the 3rd round of the alchemy competition would be to see who could make the best pill and who would be the winner. The round will last 12 hours. Ling Feng said looking at the materials that Lin Shan had chosen, it looked like he was going to make a top-level warming saw. If by his account it's like this, then Ling Feng has won, because he wants to make a mystery-level pill. Ling Feng said that sometimes a mysterious master alchemy could surpass any boundaries. The mysterious level pill she made was much better than just for the top level. It can be said, this pill is missing half a step to reach the heavenly level, said Ling Feng. Elder Lin said that the disciple of Linu Academy is enthusiastic, and it looks like this one might realize he's in trouble. Bing Ming said that Elder Lin is being too boastful. Elder Lin is extremely overconfident today, and she has a bad feeling about it. Ling Feng said that the liquid pill was done, everything was going smoothly. But somewhere, he saw a catch. After all, Ling Shan clearly understands that he is capable of making a top-level pill. He wondered why he was so confident today. He obviously had a method to defeat him, and he was Mo Yuntong's strongest disciple after all. But suddenly, he realized that Lin Shang could also be made a mysterious level pill, and even a higher level one. Now making a mysterious level pill is meaningless, said Ling Feng. Even though he had never done it before, he would have to take the risk now. So he decides he needs a pill that's as unadulterated as possible. So he uses the essence of a martial arts expert and infuses it into the pill. The dean was surprised that he had raised the air furnace for cooking. He asked Bin Ming if there was such a method of making pills. Ms. Bing Ming didn't understand what that boy was up to either. She had never seen him make pills like that before. In the process, Ling Feng repeated that he needed to introduce the essence of a martial arts expert when forming the pill. But suddenly, Lin Shan said, "Ready." Elder Lin said, "Despite the fact that it is a warming saw, it has reached a mysterious level. In addition to this top-grade quality, last night, Elder Lin told Lin Shan that based on Ling Feng's methods that he had seen, the Elder was certain that he did not yet know how to make a heavenly level pill. Rather, he only knew how to make a mysterious level pill. However, Lin Shan already has many years of experience in making mysterious level pill. If this boy has the ability to make mysterious level pills, it is still impossible for their quality to surpass his said Elder Li." Bin Ming said that yesterday's victory came too easily, causing her to underestimate her opponent. The dean told teacher Bing Ming to be patient. After all, Ling Feng's disciple's eyes are burning, and he won't give up. Ling Feng told himself in his mind that he would prepare a much better pill than the mysterious level pill. Bing Ming couldn't understand what Ling Feng was doing in the end. After all, in the third part of the competition, he always finishes last as usual. Can't it be done faster? The disciple said that Ling Shan had made a mysterious level pill so early. It looks like Ling Feng can't defeat him anymore. Suddenly, a ball came out of the furnace. When Ling Feng grabbed it, he didn't realize what the result would be. Ling Shan was surprised at what Ling Feng had already done. The disciple told him not to worry. After all, as she could see, the quality of what Ling Feng had done was not good. Bing Ming walked up to him and asked him what kind of pill he made after all, and he handed her a black-colored pill. The student said Ling Feng is just messing with their heads. Well, his teacher can't recognize his pill either. Elder Lin asked to look at that pill, but Bing Ming said that it wasn't in this section, and they would just admit defeat. The student said to teacher Bin Ming, "It's just a competition after all." Since her student had already made a pill, why not let them watch it to broaden their horizons, she said. Elder Lin told teacher Bing Ming, if you saw correctly, then it must be a heavenly level pill. The dean was surprised because the heaven level pill was still a level above the mysterious level pill. Actually said Bing Ming that the quality of this pill is very bad. Because of that, it is completely ugly, but it is a real heavenly level pill. Miss Bing Ming realized that this boy's true talent at this age had already made a heavenly level. She was afraid that the people in Mo Yunsong would hate him, so she wanted to admit defeat, but there was no way to keep it a secret. Elder Li said that Mo Yunsong had actually lost. The dean thanked them for their fair competition. The dean announced that the winner of this competition was Linu Ling Feng, a student of the academy. The disciples of Linu Academy said that Mo Yunzong's followers had gotten to the point where they weren't shy about coming to their Linu Academy and showing off. A single heaven-level pill immediately put everything in place. A disappointed student, Mo Yunsong, said that he was pissed off by all of this. They came to bury the Linu Academy, and as a result, they suddenly lost. The academy student Mo Yungkong said that in a few years, Brother Lin would definitely be much cooler than this boy. Lin Shan said that she was wrong. After all, the boy had broken the boundary of his ability right during the competition by making a heavenly level pill. His talent level is extremely high. Perhaps he himself will not reach such a level in his entire life. The disciples said that they would then wait for the competition between Li Nu and Mo Yunsong, and then let their other disciples settle the score by avenging Brother Lin. The apprentice said, but then we'd have to wait a few months. When they come back today, they'll call all the brothers and sisters. They'll go into the wilderness and give the Linu Academy students a real hell, torturing them to death. Elder Lin said that Ling Feng so few you possess such talent in alchemy. In fact, they are very jealous of them. Ling Feng's talent is very outstanding and will probably bring him a lot of trouble. Judging from Elder Lin's behavior, Mo Yunchong's followers don't want Ling Feng to develop further, said Dean. The Dean told Bing Ming that the guy's ability is already known to everyone, and he is afraid that Mo Yunsong's people will treat him very badly, and Linu Academy can't lose a guy like him. And in his opinion, They should teach Lingfeng martial arts so that he would have the ability to defend himself. Bingming said that the headmaster was definitely right. But if one was distracted by this training, no matter how talented one would not be able to excel in either martial arts or alchemy. The dean asked what the guy wanted, but Lingfeng actually said he wanted a vacation. Binmin once a month passes, he needs to go back and show her, and no excuses are allowed. The dean told Lingfeng that if there were any questions regarding martial arts in the future, he could always contact him. Lingfeng said although the principal praised him, but his ancestors were great martial artists, compared to them, this is a higher level. The guy came home and told Goldie that these few days are quite successful, and these top-tier pills are his reward, praising Goldie, because now he had turned into a ferocious beast of a second-level martial arts expert. And starting tomorrow, when he is not at home, he will guard his sister, said Lingfeng. The sister told the guy that in these days that he had given her the pills, she had reached the first level of martial arts expert. The guy decided to congratulate his sister, because now everyone in their house is a martial arts expert. Apparently the pills were very good. The pills are very good, but unfortunately teacher Bingming remains at the 7th level of martial arts beginner, and the area of the body where life energy is stored is called the dantian. And teacher Bingming has a problem with it, so there's no growth beyond the 7th level. And you can even develop abilities, but it won't do much good. The guy said that with this problem, the pills are not suitable for her, and that's a pity. His sister told him to stop talking about it. He's leaving tomorrow, and she wants to feed him tonight. The guy said he could use telekinesis to create an arrow piercing metal and rocks, and it would kill any enemy. The sister went outside, and she thought she heard the sound of an explosion. Where did such loud noises come from, she asked the guy. Lingfeng said that he was just making pills all night and was very exhausted, and so he made a little noise. The boy realized that the ancestral arrow was indeed dangerous, and he didn't use it steadily yet. The guy realized that the ancestral arrow was indeed dangerous, and as long as he didn't use it steadily. On the way to the mountain descent, the guy noticed people. He asked them, exactly a student of Linu Academy, and what happened to them. They said that Mo Yongzhan's people were bullying others. They sent the disciples into the wilderness to chase those who go out. That's what it's all about, said the guy, because Mo Yongzhan's disciples are asking for conflict with him and take out their anger on others. But the guy realized that he had been doing nothing but alchemy for the past few days. And it's a good thing he made it to level 4 last night. After 3 days, Mo Yongzhan's people have the nerve to bully them. There's nothing they can do. The students said that 3 days ago, 2 groups of their students went out. As a result, 10 students from Linu Academy were beaten up, one after another. The second student said that such bullying is happening to them, and some students were severely beaten. Why are the teachers and elders of Linu Academy silent, he asked. But the guys told him to chill out. After all, this is a disagreement between the disciples. The elders shouldn't have a hand in it. And Mo Yunsong's disciples are stronger than them. But suddenly, a female disciple came in and said that there was good news. Their best disciple, Di Xuan, has turned up and is now heading straight into the wilderness. The guy rejoiced for this news and said that brother Di Xuan is very strong. He will definitely tear apart Mo Yuncheng's disciples. But suddenly bad news came that Di Xuan had fought with Mo Yuncheng's disciples and lost, and he had all his bones broken. But suddenly, a guy came running in and said there was good news. It turns out there's a student from their Linu Academy, and he's hiding his face under a mask. While in the Minyu Gorge, he one-on-one was the 3 big groups of Mo Yunzong disciples. And then, in the Dragon Gorge, and then one-on-one, he defeated 6 of Mo Yunsong's top disciples. The boys were curious about the name of the masked student. The student said he would introduce himself, and his name is Linu Lingfeng Academy student. After gifting the 6th of the best disciples, Lingfeng said that he was also no good. And taking a brush, he painted a large turtle on his face. But suddenly, 2 other students crept up from behind and asked him how he dared to beat up his brother. They said that all the better students of Linu Academy had been beaten up, so how dare he stick his head out? Lingfeng told them that he was asking the best disciple to find him and let them rest. But now Mo Yunsong knew that it was Lingfeng. The disciple realized that all 3 of them were martial arts experts of at least the 6th level. Looks like this guy shouldn't be underestimated. But the guys said he couldn't beat them. With the whole wilderness at their mercy, there's nothing the Academy can do to Linu. Academy disciple Mo Yunsong said since Linu Academy considers him as their hope, then they should just crush all their hopes. The students of Mo Yongzhan Academy decided to split up to finish him off as quickly as possible. but one of the students saw his brother and asked who did it, while Ling Fong stood on the tree and asked if the turtle he drew looked good. After striking the academy student, Mo Yun-chung realized that this boy was very strong. No one would have thought that he would beat him with one punch. The guy told brother Ling Yu that he should be careful, while Ling Feng said that another big turtle had come. In the Mingyu Gorges, several of Mo Yun-chung's top disciples lost to Ling Feng. Only Lun Yu remained. The guy said that Ling Feng is extremely dangerous. But who is he? A big mystery. A student from Mo Yun-chung Academy asked why everyone at Linu Academy was so happy. After all, when Lun Yu destroys Ling Feng, they would all have to leave the wilderness at once. The second disciple supported him. He said that there were rumors that Ling Feng was a level 5 expert, but their brother Ling Yue had long been a level 9 expert, and he would break through to the master level in a little while. There was no way he would lose. Suddenly, one of the guys said Ling Feng came. He said Ling Feng was too cowardly to come. But suddenly, Ling Feng's voice came out, and he asked this guy, does he want to get hit in the head? Standing up other friend Ling Yu asked, is he Ling Feng? The guy said correctly, and his full name is Ling Feng Tian. Ling Feng ordered him to tell him how to beat him up. Ling Yu didn't like it and thought it was insolent and threatened to blow him up. Ling Yue used the yellow level 5 element technique out of anger. Ling Feng said he dared to challenge him with his fighting techniques, but Ling Yue was so slow that Ling Feng walked beside him and he didn't even notice it. Ling Feng said that Ling Yue was incredibly overconfident and it would be impractical to hit at full strength, and unfortunately, Ling Feng can't use the dragon strike with the fire sword. Because there are a lot of people here, it catches his eye and attracts a lot of attention. Fortunately, said Ling Feng, his precious body is quite flexible and strong. Otherwise, he would have already been severely injured. But suddenly, Ling Yue came to his senses and said that he himself was provoking him. Seeing him, Ling Feng realized that his power had increased. He had reached the level of a martial arts master. He used a heaven-level technique against Ling Feng, striking a 2-stage disc and, in addition, merged the discs together. Seeing this, the guys said that Ling Yue was incredibly dangerous. This battle could be considered over. The guys at Linu Academy said that Ling Yue already had 1 foot at the martial arts master level, and Ling Feng was in real danger. These attacks left Ling Feng with no options. So he saw that this was going to be a violent clash, so he decided to retaliate with a mutual punch. But all of a sudden, Ling Yue rushed past Ling Feng, and he noticed that Ling Yue had changed the way he was fighting, and Ling Feng had made a mistake. Ling Yue said that Ling Feng was indeed tenacious since it didn't kill him already. He decided to use the Devil Sword attack, withholding the punch. Ling Feng said that in addition to his body enduring heavy loads, he also had good movement speed, and there's no need for Ling Yue to be too self-satisfied. Being alone naked on a martial arts master's stage isn't too dangerous. After striking Ling Yue, he told Ling Feng to stop. After all, his punches were absolutely worthless. Ling Feng said that Ling Yue's defense is very strong, and he only relies on the Overlord strike and is afraid that it won't be enough to pierce through his armor. But Ling Feng came to his senses and stood up, said Funny. But Ling Yue still believes that it will not penetrate his armor, asked Ling Feng. This trump card is a retaliatory strike. Ling Feng originally did not want to use it, but it's all because Ling Yue provoked him. Ling Feng used one technique from the ancestral spirits, the secret absorption technique. Ling Yue couldn't understand where Ling Feng got such tremendous strength from. What will he do now? Ling Feng asked after overpowering him with his peerless power of ancestral spirits. The guys at Mo Yun-song Academy said that the newly minted martial artist lost to a level 5 expert. That doesn't make sense. Ling Feng said that from now on, Mo Yun-chong's followers were not allowed to enter this wilderness area. Otherwise, everyone he saw would be beaten up. The distraught students of Mo Yun-song Academy said that they would now only go to dangerous places in the wilderness for classes. Ling Feng noticed that there were people even higher than him in the crowd, and such a heavy atmosphere. It was good that no one was following him. The absorption technique is incredible, but even with such a strong body, Ling Feng was injured. In addition, after defeating Ling Yue, he had used up most of his energy and his body was now in great pain. But suddenly, someone from behind told Ling Feng that he was caught. Who was he? Ling Feng asked in surprise. Ling Feng didn't understand what was the matter. After all, this person had suddenly appeared behind him and he didn't even suspect anything. Taking off his mask, he said that Ling Feng didn't need to know who he was. When Ling Feng saw him, he said trouble and quickly ran away. This stranger asked Ling Feng if he wanted to run away. He's a quick thinker, but unfortunately, he can't run away from death. Ling Feng said that this stranger is very fast. His level is higher than the expert, which is 2 levels higher than him. Even full of strength, Ling Feng is afraid that he won't be fit to be his opponent. What to speak of when he has injuries? But Ling Feng realized he was in a bad way. After all, this huge river is full of evil spirits. If an evil spirit entered his body, death would instantly follow. Why did the stranger stop? Telling Ling Feng that he could also run across the river. Ling Feng said that Mo Yun-chung would come to be of great importance to him, since he had already sent a martial arts expert after him. The stranger said that Ling Feng is very funny, and he really wants to kill him. However, as Ling Feng could see, he gave him a chance to escape. Unfortunately, Ling Feng couldn't escape from him. After all, Ling Feng had beaten the disciples of Yuzong Academy outside and made them suffer shame in the competition. And this time, the torment would be inflicted on him. After all, Ling Feng still hoped to deceive everyone by hiding his face. Ling Feng realized that Mo Yucheng had been plotting against him for a long time. He was very angry about it. The stranger said that Ling Feng was right, because Mo Yuang Academy was very seriously interested in him, and he especially waited for Ling Feng to be as vulnerable as possible. For reliability, Ling Feng told him, "To cut a chicken with a bull knife, you have to be very cowardly. After all, they, followers of Mo Yutsen, are all sad and shameless people." Ling Feng realized that he had no way out, because behind him is the Anin River. Inside it, he will surely die. And so it remains only to fight to the end. The stranger said that Ling Feng's body strength was more than he expected, a true mastery. "It's a pity, but it will die." After falling into the river, Ling Feng said that the evil spirits would eat his heart and bones, and this time he would not escape. The stranger jumped after Ling Feng, for he had assumed he was trying to get away from him. The stranger said that this river is incredibly dangerous. If a lot of time passes, it will be difficult for experts to avoid death. So we must act quickly. After hitting Ling Feng with an attack, the guy apologized to his sister, saying that he didn't think he would die like this here. While the guy's sister sensed something, and said she could hear Ling Feng calling her for help. Miss Bingming told Ling Qing that of course she understands that her sister is worried about her brother. But right now, no one knows where he is, and there's nothing they can do. Ling Feng was ambushed. He realized that against such a strong funnel, his chances of surviving were very minimal. The stranger said that Ling Feng was more dangerous than he thought, so he wouldn't hesitate and attacked with a heaven-level technique. With such colossal attacks, Ling Feng realized that he could not hide. He could only resist to the end. He has another trump card up his sleeve that he decided to use a heavenly-level telekinesis attack, stopping arrows, but one of the arrows pierced his broad chest. He was frustrated that he did not have time to use the attack. The stranger said that Ling Feng was very gifted, but however, he was still only a martial arts expert. Seeing that he was still alive, the stranger didn't understand how this was possible. Suddenly, something exploded. The stranger said that he never thought Ling Feng would turn out to be a spiritual master, and his talent is incredibly intimidating. A joyous Ling Feng said that he had won after all. The martial arts expert had finished off the expert, a true miracle. Is this the end of his life, he thought? He was thrown into a vortex somewhere unknown. When he opened his eyes, he wondered if he was still alive. He didn't understand, because he was kind of taken by the funnel, wasn't he? And how he got into this place, he could understand. And he saw a way out, but he can't get out either, for his wounds are too severe. Evil spirits have entered his body, and there is no cure. But suddenly he saw a golden glint behind the stone. As he looked at them, he wondered if they were brushes of gold. Taking it in his hands, he couldn't believe his eyes, and started counting the pieces. And he started counting exactly 15 pieces. These golden stones are amazing, their brilliance reflecting the incredible power of the earth and sky. To find one such stone is rare luck, and he found 15. Having this, not only would he be able to cure himself of evil spirits, but he would also be able to sanctify his body, so he would be able to break through to the next level of his abilities. "This is the reward for such agony," shouted Ling Feng. He said there was no time to waste, and it was time to drive the evil spirits back to where they belonged. Taking a piece of this gold, Ling Feng didn't expect that she would have such a powerful sun energy. With this gold, not only did he regain his strength, but he became more powerful and dangerous than before. "These gold stones are of rare value," said Ling Feng. and he should take it out. With the help of the bottom, he can help his sister. And Lingfeng remembered that teacher Bingming also had problems in the Dantian realm. After all, there was also a chance that these stones would have a miraculous effect on her as well. He could take advantage of this opportunity, and he realized that it was time to leave said Lingfeng. And he wondered what the place outside was like. Climbing to the top on Lingfeng Mountain saw a very beautiful scenery and felt such cool air. Seeing the huge waterfall, he feels like he could cultivate there. It's this second-level golden monkey martial arts master's golden monkeys. But suddenly those monkeys got angry, and Lingfeng said that it was very vigilant. He hadn't encountered them before, but the gold stones had enhanced his abilities, and now they'll be very angry. He still has 20+ days of vacation left. He's just in time to practice his martial arts skills. But as the days passed, Lingfeng returned home screaming. His sister met him and told him that all this loot seemed much heavier than before. Lingfeng said of course, because he had practiced very hard for a month in the wilderness. Now his beautiful body could withstand a load of 20 tons, and the impact force was now 10 tons. My sister said once he's back, it's good. And she said she made him meat soup and called him to eat. When Lingfeng had eaten enough, he said how good her sister was at cooking. But he remembered about the golden stones and decided to give her one. In the wilderness, he used up 4 gold stones that helped him break through 2 levels, and he's already a level 7 expert. Taking the stone, she marveled that it was a marvelous stone, a heavenly luster. She told Lingfeng that she didn't need this wonderful thing and let him keep it. Lingfeng told her it was just for her, and he has 10 more pieces. Not only will it help her progress, it will also help cure her ailment. My sister said that during these few days, thanks to his pills, her ailment had not bothered her, but Lingfeng said he needs to be completely rid of the disease. He won't rest on this. Taking the stone in her hands, sister was glad. Lingfeng said that using the stone could be painful, and she had to be patient. Just endure it, and there will be no problem. The sister told Lingfeng that she understood, and said that he was tired for this month. Let him go to bed. Drinking this stone, she was consumed by such pain that she said she couldn't be a burden to Lingfeng. She wants to become stronger. When Lingfeng woke up the next morning, he couldn't find his sister, so he ordered Goldie to go with him to look for his sister, while his sister was at the river and couldn't believe her eyes. After all, that stone had changed her face so much that Lingfeng would be shocked. But when he saw his sister, he said something about her being very beautiful. Lingfeng said they should go up the mountain and show everyone how beautiful she was. The girl ran after him and shouted that she was happy to be his sister. Lingfeng also said he was happy. Lingfeng said that his sister was cured of her ailment and became incredibly beautiful, and now he's worried about her. When they arrived at the academy, the guys couldn't figure out who she was. They assumed that she was not a student at Linu Academy, and how they had not noticed her before. Mojan asked what was even going on. After all, these Linu Academy students didn't look at her at all. Ling Qing didn't know why so many people were looking at her, and she was starting to feel a little shy out of it. When she came to Bingming's teacher, she asked if this was her special student. It's been a month since we've seen each other, so we must have come stronger, she said. Lingfeng said, I haven't seen you in a month. And teacher Mingming, you've gotten a little better again, he said, pulling out her sword and holding it to Lingfeng's throat. She said that she had just seen his sister suddenly become incredibly beautiful. Did he bring something useful, she asked. Lingfeng said that it was actually simple. Last night, a star fell directly on her sister from the sky. After that, her sister immediately changed. This answer did not satisfy teacher Bingming, and she pulled out a second sword. Seeing this, Lingfeng said, This is actually one of the golden roots. When taking it in hand, an unusual atmosphere is immediately created. Hearing this, she was very happy, and said it was the gold Shinshi stones she had dreamed of. She asked if he still had any Shinshi stones left. She said she would give him 10 sacred pills in return. 1 stone would be enough for her. Lingfeng said that he had already made heaven-level pills in the alchemy competition, and 10 pills would not be enough. So how about an exchange for 30 sacred pills, he asked. Bingming said that he is a very good student and unceremonious. Since he wants the 30 pills, she agrees. Lingfeng took the pills and said that they were of poor quality and that she needed to keep working hard. And taking a stone from his pocket, he held it out to her and said that this Shunshi stone was hers. Holding the pills in his hand, Bingming said that her vital energy Dantian was impaired, which prevented her from overcoming the 7th level of a martial arts disciple. Moreover, because of this, she couldn't develop an alchemy. And now, finally, her Dantian problem could be cured, and she could also further develop in alchemy. Bing Ming told Ling Feng to go make pills, and she should go treat her ailments. Ling Feng said if there was another person, he would request a few hundred pills, or no pills at all. Ling Feng remembered that he too should practice making pills. It was said that teacher Bing Ming had spent years to make 100 kinds of heaven-level pills, and he wondered how long it would take him. 10 days later, Ling Feng had already made the third kind of heaven-level pill. This is simply an incredible speed. But suddenly he heard a voice asking him to come out. Standing at the door, Ling Feng said that it was the girl he had defeated the other day. She said she was telling Ling Feng that his days were numbered. Mo Zong's older brother Mojang came and asked if he was Ling Feng. Ling Feng smilingly said that it was him, the famous one. Who's asking? Ling Feng asked. Mokan said that Ling Feng had once injured her sister, and today he would pay him back double. Ling Feng said that she was hurting his sister back then. Naturally, he couldn't help but comfort Mojan. Mokan said he didn't care about the color of the gold. The usual showmanship won't stand a single blow. Ling Feng said that he didn't care who he was, a disciple of Linu Academy or from somewhere else, since he dared to challenge, then take it. Mozong said that this boy's golden energy is not simple. The abilities are not at the level of a 7th level martial arts expert. Pulling out all his anger, he said, "But that won't do. He's a 7th level martial artist." Seeing Mozong's attack, Ling Feng realized that his real ability at this moment was roughly at the 3rd level of a martial artist, but he would not be able to defeat him. If he is incapable now, then he only has to use his spiritual abilities. Only then perhaps Ling Feng would raise a ruckus, and it wouldn't be a bad ending. But suddenly Miss Bing Ming told them to stop, and she told Mo Kan, "He's got a nerve. He came and fought with her alchemy student." Bing Ming said Mo Lan originally bullied Lin Shin, then was punished. Mokong, can't he see justice? She asked. Mozong said that Bin Min doesn't count for anything. However, her position within the academy is high, and he can't argue with the alchemy teacher. Ling Feng said she had defeated Mo Yunzong's students in the martial arts and alchemy competition, and that was a great achievement for the academy. And if Mo Tong is so gifted, then at the competition between Ling and Mo Yunsong Academy, fight their best fighters instead of showing off here. Mo Tong said since the competition wants to compete, he's ready. He asked Ling Feng if he dared to fight him in the competition. Ling Feng agreed to his conditions without thinking for a long time, and said that he would beat him in front of everyone during the competition. Mo Kan said that today, because of Bing Ming's interference, there is no option to deal with Ling Feng. But in 4 months, he'll deal with Ling Feng honestly, and no one will be able to interfere. Lin Ming said to Ling Feng, something on too reckless. This Mo Kan is socially provoking him. Teacher Bing Ming told Ling Feng that he pissed her off. After all, Ling Feng is an alchemy master. Why the hell would he fight him, she asked. Ling Feng said that he and this Mo family must come to some decision sooner or later. There is no escaping it. Besides, he still has 4 months to train. No need to worry. Good, dear teacher, said Ling Feng, and asked, how was her Dantian energy? Wasn't his stone wasted? Bing Ming said that the Dantian energy had been successfully restored, and she had already reached the 1st level of martial arts expert. Ling Feng said that he was very happy for her, because now they were all martial arts experts, and they all possessed this golden energy. After 20 days, Ling Feng blew up the furnace again, but it was too difficult to make 10 pills at a time, and only 5 were successful. However, no matter what one says, and this is already 20 heaven-level pills, Ling Feng feels like it doesn't take much time, and he can develop well in the skill of making heaven-level pills. Ling Feng said that Miss Bing Ming has a ruthless beauty. Ita Girl is extremely terrifying, always pulling out her blade on occasion. Ling Feng said that he had just made one, and it came. When she took it in her hands, she said that it was a pill of the highest quality. Miss Bing Ming said time flies very fast, and from the time he passed Linu Academy's certification in the alchemy department, half a year had already passed. She decided to give him another news that tomorrow is another certification of Linu Academy. He is the best student of the alchemy faculty. On behalf of the alchemy faculty, he will be accepting new students. The next day, Mount Linu was the site of the academy certification. Chi Yun, the daughter of the Feng Chung family, said the mountain is so steep, there is a reason she walked so far to participate in the evaluation. Ao Ding from the Ao family told her that she was right to come. In the past 6 months, Linu Academy had become the most honored academy. Li Meng said the Linu Academy had become incredibly prestigious in these 6 months, only worth the success of Ling Feng, master of the alchemy department. It was said that during the open competition, he had beaten Mo Yun-chung's students with a single stick. And in the alchemy competition, he did something amazing. Xu Yun confirmed Li Meng's words, and in their Fengcheng family, everyone used to come to Mo Yun-young before, but now she had specially come to Linnu Academy to study alchemy. The dean said, the guys who make it to the alchemy department must be tested at Mount Linnu. And then, dear Ling Feng will do the selection. Qi Yun saw Ling Feng and was surprised by his beauty. Sister Ling Qing and Goldie were walking next to him. They were all so cute. Elder Zhu said that at the certification 6 months ago, Ling Feng took and bypassed their children for testing, and they still lost their money. However, the Li family elder said Ling Feng is their alchemy genius, and it seems to be the most advantageous to be friends with him right now. But make him a little angry and the events of 6 months ago will happen again. The dean reiterated that the rules were not complicated. As always, the Indians needed to climb as high as they could, and ordered everyone to climb the mountain. 2 hours later, the Li family elders said that their guys were already at the 30th step by the time they reached the 30th step first, and they would be accepted. The second elder said that they didn't necessarily need to reach the 90th step like Ling Feng. The most important thing was that it was without incident. The dean said although the results of the two families are good, the few kids who came from afar are also doing well. At this rate, within a few years, Linnu Academy will overtake Mo Yunsong Academy in every way. The stranger said it had been 2 hours. And the 50 steps have not yet been passed. Does Linnu Academy accept such students every year? She asked. Who are these budding talents? Asked the guy loudly. It was immediately clear to him that they were scum, Wu Yue said. When the dean saw him, he remembered that a few years ago, during the Ding Academy's appraisal, Wu Yue had climbed to the 55th step, becoming a disciple of the academy and gaining their recognition. However, he has an arrogant character, a lot of ill intentions, envy and malice towards the mentors, and in the end, the dean kicked him out of the academy. The evil dean asked Wu Yue why he came to Linnu Academy, to which Wu Yue laughed and said that he was now a follower of Yingtong. This petty Linnu Academy of theirs didn't care about him at all. Frowning his eyebrows, the dean asked the follower of Insong. Insong is one of the strongest academies in Shenwu. Linnu Academy is not their equal. The dean couldn't think that Wu Yue had taken to it. Wu Yue said that some century has the mood to come to see. He could not imagine that there would be no talent here. And in fact, the small gate is a passage for small people. But suddenly, some guy started yelling at him, saying he was too crazy, and when he severely injured his brother, he hadn't paid him back yet. Looking at the man, Wu Yue called him a lowly loser who dared to shout something else in his direction, and ordered his pet to chop up the man. The man was surprised to sell he is only a level 3 martial arts expert. Is this leopard really a level 4 expert? The man said the leopard is incredibly ferocious, just like its bloodthirsty master. He's fiercer than Ling Feng's golden lion. The dean got angry and shouted Wu Yue enough, and said that just because he was Ying Chong's disciple, it didn't mean he was allowed to run amok here. Wu Yue said, the principal is quite imposing. He is a successful disciple of Ying Tsong, came to share his experience. Does Linnu Academy not even have successors? And the principal has to make an appearance by himself? The dean said, this boy has got a lot of nerve. The dean is a generation older than him, and he can't speak against him, otherwise it would look unfair. The pet approached Wu Yue, and the guy said to the dog, whoever dares to approach him, let him be mauled right away. But suddenly he flew up and said that he had come to Mount Linnu to compete with everyone. Standing up on the steps, he sighed with his hands and laughed, saying that Linnu Academy's students were so frail that they made him feel disappointed. The dean realized that Wu Yue intended to disrupt the grading by taking and dropping all the guys back. Looking at Wu Yue, Ling Feng said, this guy is buying it. This is too trivial. But suddenly, Ling Feng asked Goldie if you could see that leopard and ordered him to flog it for him. After beating the leopard, Qi Yun realized that this little guy was so cool, beating a beast of the 4th level of martial arts expert, as cool as its master. Taka laughed and said, when you take an example from such a master, it's hard for him not to be strong. Seeing this, Wu Yue realized that this lion was a 6th level martial arts expert. Since he had beaten his leopard, Wu Yue wants to take it for himself. But Ling Feng's sister came up to Goldie and stroked him and told him not to be angry. Seeing this, Wu Yue said to pack them both to him. Seeing this, the guy said that Wu Yue was so brave, taking and flirting with Ling Qing right in front of Ling Feng's face. But the evil Ling Feng said he was the one who dared to disrespect his sister. Wu Yue told Ling Feng not to show off. He wants to speak for Li Nu Academy, but he's still a sucker. Wu Yue told him he's waiting for him upstairs. If he wants to compete, let him catch up with him. But the calm, Ling Feng just sat back and watched to see how far this guy could get. After reaching the 66th step, Wu Yue waved his hand and said that this was the biggest record of Li Nu Academy. Ling Feng laughed and asked him if he was crazy. The best record had long since been updated. Wu Yue said there's no need to exaggerate. That's the top of Mount Linu over there. He'll admit that he hasn't climbed, but let Ling Feng show him what he can do. The dean shouted to Ling Feng that it was time to show him what he could do. Taking all his strength, Ling Feng told him that he would show him what was called climbing a mountain. Wu Yue couldn't believe his eyes and said that it was unreal. Ling Feng told him that the highest step 6 months ago had been surpassed by him. Ling Feng took him by the scruff of the neck and said that he had just admitted to himself that he was unable to climb to the top. Then Ling Feng would help him now. Wu Yue shouted that he would come back, but Ling Feng told him no, for the mountain was too high for him. Wu Yue asked Ling Feng, is he so easily able to climb to the top of the mountain? Who is he? Ling Feng got angry and said that he didn't need to know who he was. He only needed to remember that he had beaten Wu Yue. Wu Yue asked that he dared to fight him, and he remembered him. Ling Feng told him that he had treated his sister badly, and how could he turn a blind eye? But Wu Yue told him not to hit. After all, he was Yingcang's disciple, and if Ling Feng hit again, and Yingcang wouldn't let it go. Taking him by the shirt, Ling Feng remembered that he was Yingcang's representative, and because of the respect, he would put up his best. After seeing this spectacle, the dean started laughing and said that, physically, Ling Feng was very good, and he had finally shown his power. Qi Yun said that Ling Feng is so cool, and the alchemy department is incredibly cool, and she should go there. Ling Feng, walking away, said, who would have thought that Yingcang's disciples were so worthless? Taking him by the scruff of his neck, Ling Feng asked him to go downstairs. Wu Yue didn't like it and told them to wait. After all, he would still come back. The dean told everyone to calm down because the burden is gone, and Li Nu Academy's grading begins anew. 4 hours later, Ling Feng shouted to Ms. Bing Ming, hurry over here, and hurry up and save him. Ling Feng said, so many young girls want to enter the alchemy department. Hurry up and think of something. Ling Feng said, Miss Bing Ming. Bin Min said it's fine. Let him continue with the selection. After all, the authority to recruit has been given to him. Ling Feng told everyone that they would each rewrite what they needed from this alchemy notebook. The alchemy assessment is in 3 days. Whoever does better will stay. Bing Ming told Ling Feng that she didn't know there was such a big demand for it. Ling Feng said that he didn't really need it. Handling so many girls is actually hard. But suddenly, Qi Yun came in and said that she wanted to ask Ling Feng a question. She said that the pasconic flower and the aster flower are very similar in properties. Can they be used together? Ling Feng said that using them together is fine, but the fruit has different medicinal properties, so it would be difficult to use them together. Of course, if you control it well, you can. Qi Yun asked Ling Feng how is it going. Ling Feng said that it might show, and after that, Qi Yun just melted. Ling Feng was so exhausted that he told Bing Ming that he was passing it on to her, and he needs a day off. And for about 2 weeks, he'll be gone. Bing Ming laughed and said that Ling Feng wouldn't be able to handle the young girl's soap. After all, he himself was still inexperienced. After all, according to Bing Ming's grading results, only Qi Yun had the skills to enter the alchemy department. In the wilderness, in these few days, Ling Feng had gone from a 7th-level expert to a martial arts master, and had also beaten several Mo Yunsong disciples quite productively. But suddenly he was attacked, and Ling Feng didn't realize where it came from. It was a creature very rare, the Qin bird. Ling Feng began to study and became nervous because how dare she attack a martial arts master? When Ling Feng attacked him, he missed, and shouted to him that he couldn't fly, and if the bird wanted to deal, let him come down. But suddenly the fog fell, and Ling Feng wondered if the bird could do something in the fog. Because Ling Feng is ready to teach him a lesson. Using his spiritual energy, Ling Feng dispelled the fog and aimed his sword at the bird's head. He said if the bird obeyed him, he wouldn't kill it. But suddenly she turned into a little chick. Ling Feng said, and beasts have a well-developed talent for pretending to be cute. In the future, Ling Feng will call him Xiaoqing. The abilities of the Qingpeng bird are very huge, but if it is well cared for, who knows where the limit of those abilities will be. If he meets an enemy that Ling Feng can't defeat, he can always fly away on it. Ling Feng asked Xiaoqing, If there are any special places in this area, places to train, he needs to arrange an expedition. Who would have thought, said Ling Feng, that a martial arts master-level bird was so submissive and looked incredibly dangerous? After arriving at the cave, Ling Feng said that the atmosphere of the afterlife was not a simple forbidden area, but he should go there, telling Xiaoqin that he will go to the dangerous cave, and let him stay here and not go anywhere. Let him wait for him. But suddenly, someone came into this cave as well, and asked Ling Feng is also a student of Linu Academy. The forbidden area is incredibly dangerous and you can't go there. It was Doug Ye, a student of Linu Academy. Ling Feng told her that he was very grateful for the warning. Ling Feng remembered that he had met her on the academy grounds, but he had forgotten her name. Doug said they are cooking. There is a warrior spirit inside whose weapons are incredibly murderous. There is also an incredibly dangerous beast that has killed countless daredevils. And Ling Feng is still young. Don't let him do anything stupid. Ling Feng decided to trick her and told her he was leaving, and a satisfied Doug was glad what was going on with this trope, or else the kid would have been in trouble. Ling Feng hid behind a rock and watched until Doug left. He realized there was something valuable inside, so he couldn't help but go there. Once inside, Ling Feng said that it was very unusual inside, and it seems that Sister Doug wasn't lying. Many people had really died here, but the farther he goes, the more he feels the atmosphere of death. It seems a terrible beast is somewhere nearby. After stepping over the line, Ling Feng realized that he had passed the broken boundary. It was a dragon and lion mixworm. Ling Feng saw an incredibly dangerous beast that had the ability to strike fear into all living things. Ling Feng said that the beast had no mind, but it was incredibly ruthless and vicious, and the guy couldn't escape. So Ling Feng decided to fight him and see who's more dangerous. After conducting several attacks and expending his strength, Ling Feng realized that this beast had a unique technique, but the dragon attacked back and hit Ling Feng. Lying on the ground, he said that the firepower was incredibly huge, and once it started, it was almost unstoppable. Ling Feng's whole body is now on fire and he can't stand it. The guy said that the dragon's body is invulnerable, so he needs to change his attack. It is useless to attack him with the fire-breathing dragon sword. Ling Feng felt that his entire body was already on fire, so he decided to try his most powerful punch. After launching this attack on the dragon, Ling Feng was surprised that a single strike was enough to defeat the beast. But suddenly, he noticed that his hand was on fire, and it looked like the fire had penetrated his body. Ling Feng realized that fire was much harder to deal with than a beast, and it would take a long time to get rid of the fire. Ling Feng said that staying in one place is very dangerous, and the deeper the cave, the more dangerous the beasts. And he can't stay here for long. He has to find the treasure, take it, and leave. As Ling Feng climbed the stairs, he began to feel something. The treasure that the dragon lion was guarding must be here somewhere. But suddenly he found some kind of sword. It was very old. It must have divine properties, Ling Feng thought. When he touched the sword, it fell apart. Ling Feng said, "The appearance is not true," and cut his finger. But suddenly, something happened that Ling Feng himself did not expect. The sword shards were completely embedded in his hand. He couldn't move it, but he saw them begin to spread through his veins and were about to be all over his body. Ling Feng said that his strength and body have no chance at all to deal with those shards, and his body is completely poisoned. After all, these shards are very heavy, as if they were huge rocks. Ling Feng can withstand 10 tons of external load, but he can barely handle the load inside his body, and he hit a dead end. The weight of the shards is 7.5 tons, and Ling Feng's body is in the process of being destroyed. Ling Feng realized that these destructive shards were indeed incredible weapons, as if there was another being inside the body. There's a reason this is a restricted area. First the fire, now the shrapnel, all incredibly lethal to humans. Ling Feng said that he could use his abilities to absorb it, then, using the power of fire, suppress the effect on the shards. And that's a very good way out. Ling Feng can't take it anymore. This is his last chance to see if he can survive. No matter what challenges lie ahead of him, he doesn't intend to give up a single step. 5 days later, Ling Feng came out of the cave and shouted to Xiaoqin, "Where are you?" while the bird was sleeping. Taking him in his arms, Ling Feng told Xiaoqin that he didn't run away, and Yuto deserved respect for him. Ling Feng told the birds that she had led him to an unusual, forbidden area, allowing him to have a rewarding experience. So the boy decided to show the bird what he'd learned. By killing the beast, he mastered this power. But that's not all. Ling Feng risked his life to test the shards. and even though they're small in size, they're very powerful. But suddenly, the bird screamed. Lingfeng realized it must have been frightened and gave it the pills it deserved. Lingfeng said that coming back with her would attract too much attention. He ordered her to stay in the middle of nowhere to practice, and he would call her at the right time. The guy said he had to go back, and he doesn't even know what's up with the alchemy department now. Lying on the hammock, Bingming wondered when that bad boy would come back. But suddenly she heard footsteps and the rock came back, but it wasn't him. The stranger told Bingming's sister that they hadn't seen each other for a long time. But apparently Bingming didn't like it and asked Suzi why he had come. Suzi said, after she left Yaozong without even saying goodbye, it made him miss her a lot. He didn't know that she was at Linu Academy for a long time, and as soon as he found out, he immediately went here. Bingming said that she didn't think she was still remembered, and told Suzi to back off. Suzi told Bingming that there was no girl as beautiful as her in this world. Bingming jumped out of the hammock and told him not to be insolent. This wasn't Yaozong's territory, and it wasn't proper. Suzi laughed and said, "Can you really compare the small Linu Academy with the great and numerous Yaozong Academy? He came to take her away from here. No one will dare to stop him." But suddenly, Binmin screamed and said he was a jerk. But then the girls ran in and asked what was wrong. When he saw them, he said the girls were very nice, especially the blonde one, whom he hadn't seen yet. Bingming called his return nickname and told him to talk to her. And there's nothing to flirt with little girls. But suddenly, Suzi got angry and said how dare she shout at him, that she was very brave. So he decided to teach her a lesson by punching her in the face. He said that they had studied together and it was nothing that he had hit her. After all, he could hit anyone from Yaozong Academy. The girls got mad and said he was a real bastard and don't even think about hitting her again. Suzi got angry and called the two juveniles and asked how dare they call him a scumbag, and with one slap he hit the other two girls. But then the dean came in and asked who he was, and how dare he hit students and academy teacher Lina. He said that Suzi is the grandson of the influential academy elder Yaozong, and only that those girls had spoken disrespectfully to him, so he taught them a little lesson. The dean said that Yaozong's influence is very huge, maybe even more than Yingzong's influence. The situation is very unpleasant. The girl said he was lying. At first he ordered to Binming's teacher, but after refusing, he got angry and raised his hand. Suzi got angry again and said that she was lying. Watch out he doesn't kill her. But suddenly someone from behind said to kill him instead of the girls. It was Lingfeng and called him a Japanese jerk and asked how he dared to act like that by coming here. Lingfeng told the director that he came to deal with it. The director said as if he was from Yaozong. Suchi asked who he was. After all, he had never even seen him before. Lingfeng laughed and asked him if he was so special. Lingfeng said he was a monk of the Holy Mountain. Suzi was surprised and couldn't believe that he was a monk of the Holy Mountain. After all, the Holy Mountain is one of the oldest and strongest academies. Every elder is not below the level of a great martial artist, and their wisdom level is boundless. Suzi said that he remembered his grandfather telling him that Yingzong and Yaozong looked insignificant compared to the monks of the Holy Mountain. Lingfeng asked, as a worthless follower of Yaozong, dared to doubt him? But with fear, Suzi said he had no doubt. And he usually glares at other people, but now all of a sudden a boy is glaring at him. His self-confidence comes from within. It is very possible that he really is a monk of the Holy Mountain. Lingfeng said that he was a respected monk of the Holy Mountain, and Suzi dared to touch the people dear to him. First, he hit his sister, and 2, he hit his intern. 3rd, he hit his older brother's fiancé. Suzi was startled and realized that Bingming was his older brother's fiancé. His older brother must be a monk of the Holy Mountain too. They will kill him, and even his grandfather won't help him, he thought. Suzi said that he wanted to apologize and make amends to the 3 girls by handing over the heavenly level pills. Suzi realized that this guy is 100% a monk of the Holy Mountain because he behaves so unwaveringly. Lingfeng said that they didn't need his pills. He raised his hand to his loved ones. What pills could cover that? Lingfeng said that it would be like this. He would only need to take 3 punches from him, and today's event would be a thing of the past. Suzi asked only 3 punches? He would be very happy to accept them. Lingfeng said, apologizing in advance. Suzi said no big deal, he can start. After all, it was his mistake. He is a comer from Yingzong and does not want to have problems with the monks. After striking the first blow, Suzi thought he could withstand it, but no such luck. Now he realized that he was a monk of the holy mountain. After striking all 3 blows, Suzi couldn't stand it, and holding his butt ran home to his Yaocong home. But in Suzi's gaze, Lingfeng saw something alarming. He seemed to hold a grudge. Then he thought that he couldn't let him leave. Bingming walked up to Lingfeng and thanked him for what he did today. Lingfeng said that he had done what he had to do. Bingming said that Difficult Boy is getting better and better. After all, he dared to impersonate a monk of the holy mountain to help her, while Suzi said that he needed to recover for a while, then tricked Bingming out of Linu Academy to do whatever he wanted. Perfect reading of Sutsu. No one will even notice. And no one knows what's in his mind. However, now he still needed to return to Yaocong to heal his wounds. Lingfeng said through his mask that he had finally caught up with his Suzi, and he must be destroyed, right in the middle of nowhere. Lingfeng thought this plan was perfect because no one would even notice, and no one knows what's in his head. He looked around and saw that there were 3 other people ahead. When he saw the masked man, Suzi asked in surprise, "How did he get here?" Suzi said this time they should break into Linu Academy, finish off Lingfeng and his beast. "And there is also a beautiful girl," said Suzi, "and she must be taken with him and brought to him." But suddenly he met Lingfeng on the way. He said he'd found him. Lingfeng fell out of the sky. Lingfeng said he was a sneaky scoundrel who took 2 assistants to attack him. Waving his sword, Suzi told Lingfeng to surrender, for he had no chance to escape. Lingfeng said that all 3 of them were running away at a breakneck pace. Too bad they didn't know what he was up to. Finally, the guy said that he got to Suzi. "And just as time is running out, we should get started." "Did he really take his assistants with him?" Lingfeng asked. "But he also has brothers," said Lingfeng. A while earlier, Lingfeng had caught up with that Su boy and said that he was glad to meet him. He missed him to death. Lingfeng told Su that it was a chilly evening tonight. He suggested that he put on his cloak and stay warm. Su thanked him and said that the weather was really cold today, but he was not afraid because he was warmed by brother. Lingfeng told him that he had something to do and had to run away. When he got to the academy, he would make sure to find the director. Su said that guy's a hard guy to figure out. "But I don't care, he didn't bully me, that's good." But a friend of his met some guys on the road and asked who they were. The guys shouted, "So, he's Lingfeng's brother!" And they heard everything. He also told them to go back to Ding Academy and find the director. Su said that they were mistaken and he was not Lingfeng's brother. Su realized that they were looking for Lingfeng, but mistook him for his brother. Did the boys make a mistake, you ask? Then how did his cloak end up on him? And Su realized that Lingfeng had just given him the cloak to lure them. The guys asked if his name was Su. Su realized he was in a bad way and said that Lingfeng was just a liar and died. Wu Yue said that he had killed his brother and now he was going to kill him. But suddenly a strong wind blew and the boys looked up and saw a big creature. Wu Yue asked, "What level bird is this?" "He hasn't seen one at all before," said Wu Yue. The next morning, news came to Lin Academy that Suzi and Wu Yue had been killed in the wilderness. The director said that Suzi was killed by Wu Yue, and Wu Yue was killed by some huge bird of prey. Bingming tarred Lingfeng. "Did he hear that? Suzi died?" Lingfeng said, "Yuto is just horrible. It is said that he was killed by Wu Yue on the way home." Bingming said that it turns out that Yingcong's disciple killed Suzi, and he was killed by some bird of prey. "Is that really possible?" she asked. Lingfeng said that this place is far away from here, so it is possible to encounter a bird of prey. Bingming realized that it really wasn't Lingfeng's doing, so that was fine. Let Insong and Chotsong deal with each other on their own. Lingfeng said that of course it wasn't him. It has nothing to do with them at all. Lingfeng was glad that no one had figured him out. And no one knows what kind of bird of prey it is. And no one knows that he has such a bird. And now all the bad people are dead. No one will hurt Bingming and Sister said Lingfeng anymore. The martial arts competition between them and Mo Yutong was approaching. As he had only broken through to the level of a martial arts expert, there was still a lot of work to be done. He should go out and practice, and he needs to become much stronger, said Lingfeng. 3 months later, Bingming's voice could be heard again at the Ling Academy. She asked where Lingfeng was again. Sister said that Lingfeng often went into the wilderness to train, but today he's been back for over a month. The intern said that today is already the competition between Mo Yuzong Academy and Li Nu Academy. Lingfeng must have forgotten. Sister said that he would definitely not forget. Teacher Bingming said it would be better if he forgot. Let him do alchemy with her. He's still a long way off from 100 different kinds of heaven-level pills. The trainee said that Bingming's teacher was worried about Lingfeng not fighting with others. Bingming denied everything and said she was not worried. Mozong, the second strongest disciple of Linu Academy, asked, "Why hasn't the draw started yet?" Li Shang said that all the teachers and students from both schools came, about 200 people, not a bad rush for a 3-year competition. Li De, fourth strongest disciple, asked, "Those 3 among Mo Yucheng's disciples are their most outstanding talents?" Li Shang said that they had lost to Mo Yucheng Academy for 10 years in a row, and no wonder they were so shy. Li De said that in the past 6 months, Linu Academy has won 2 other competitions, and it's all credit to Ling Feng. Mo Kan said that weaklings like Ling Feng could only participate in such competitions for everyone. The competition between Linu Academy and Mo Yuzong Academy is their business after all. Li Shang said that Mo Yucheng's followers are very threatening this time. What does Doug think about it? Doug Yu, the strongest student of Linu Academy, said that the opponents are strong, but they are not weak either, the dean said to everyone's attention. They are looking forward to the start of the competition between their academies tomorrow. And now, said Dean, passes the word to Elder Mo to tell you all about the rules of combat. Elder Mo said that their competition consists of 2 parts. Each part consists of 4 rounds. The whole competition will last for 7 days. 200 disciples, 16 venues, one-on-one fights. The one who wins all the fights wins. The judge told everyone to come up to draw lots. The visiting team would draw first. When Mo Yuzong's disciple heard this, he ran first. It was one of Mo Yuzong's top 4 disciples, Lang Shui, and he will fight on the 7th court, the 5th fight. Mo Zong said that this insolent boy just now, he just made fun of them. However, his speed is really good. Don't underestimate him. Next to the lot went to Lan Hao, one of the 3 strongest disciples of Mo Yucheng, who will fight on the 13th court. Li Shang said that the disciples look ordinary. They must be very talented. They definitely should not be underestimated. Dig said that it was said that Mo Yuzong's 3 strongest disciples had long ago reached the 8th level of martial artists, must have already reached the 9th level as well. But the influence all shouted that Brother Ling Feng was coming. Ling Feng asked the teacher, "What is he in such a hurry for?" After all, the protagonist always appears at the last moment. But suddenly, he saw Bin Ming and said hello. Bin Min told him how mean he was. He remembers when to come back here. He should have died in the middle of nowhere. Sister told teacher Bing Ming to just forgive him. He was probably just too engrossed in cultivation, so he came back late. Ling Feng said at least his sister understands him, and she's progressing incredibly fast. Only a month of not seeing her, and she's gotten so much cooler. The disciple said that Lin Chin is now officially among the top disciples, and of the 7th level martial arts experts, she is among the top 10 in swordsmanship. Lung Feng said then she would be among the top 20 or 30 competitors in the competition. In other words, if she was lucky, it was likely that she would be among the top 16 disciples. A female disciple asked Brother Ling Feng, his abilities had become much stronger now? Ling Feng said yes, they have become coarse and more powerful than ever. But suddenly, someone shouted to Ling Feng. Turning around, he saw Dong Shui. She's one of Mo Yucheng's top disciples. She lost to him in the recent competition, now looking much more powerful. Dong Shui said that she had come again, and she really wants to fight Ling Feng again and put up a good fight. But suddenly, Ling Feng was taken from behind by someone, and he asked, "What does Ling Feng Tian know?" It was another one of Mo Yucheng's gifted disciples. Recently, when Ling Feng used Ling Feng Tian's alias, he had beaten him in the wilderness. However, his look is completely different. Ling Feng didn't even recognize him at first, and told him that he didn't know such a thing. Mo Yucheng's disciple Shui Ling said that she had a premonition. A disciple like Ling Feng should definitely appear in the competition between their academies. Ling Feng said this while staring at him. A guy thinks he doesn't look like an ordinary person. Mo Yuzong Academy is up to something. It's full of unusual students. Dong Shui, Wu Yue, and that third one. The 4 disciples of Linu Academies are also high-level masters, and this would be a meeting of old enemies. The next day, the dean said he understood that everyone was agitated, but please keep it together. The dean will now declare the martial arts competition between Linu and Mo Yuzong Academies open. Ling Feng said he would go to the 16th court. Sister, be sure he will win. Her sister said that with the sword he won and gave her at that open competition, she was not afraid of anything at all. On the first court, Mo Yuzong's disciple John Ming came out. against the academy student Linu Lingqin. John told the little girl not to take offense if it hurt. He is, after all, a level 5 martial arts expert. After striking Lin Qing, John didn't expect her to take the blow so easily. This is an unusual way of wielding a sword. Lin Qin said that it was her turn and gave a lunar-level strike. John thought he could deflect it, but he couldn't and dropped out. The alchemy student said that Ling Qing was using lunar-level techniques. Punching through this level 5 expert, of course he was no match for her. On the second court in the third fight, Doug O was victorious. And in the fourth fight on the 14th court, Mo Kone won. While the Linu Academy disciple fought with one Mo Yuzong girl, it was a very long time. His strength ran out and he gave in. Now what did the disciple ask? Here he was. He immediately surrendered in a fight with Li Xuan. The pretty girl still admired him. The apprentice said it perfectly. After all, the top 4 disciples of Linu Academy are going without any losses so far. And Mo Yuqiang's top 3 are also winning. Dong Shui and Lun Yue winning time after time. Ling Feng told them to calm down and called them skillful. Like him, they don't lose at competitions. Ling Feng said he came here to have fun. Bing Ming told him not to fail, but let him win for her sake and pass to the next round. What is the next round? Ling Feng asked. After all, he actually expects to win. Otherwise, he wouldn't have come. The students started laughing because the alchemy student had decided to win the left arts competition between Linu Academy and Mo Yuqiang Academy. It's a challenge for the other students. Ling Feng said that they say that his rival's name is Wu Min. Where is that kid? He asked. After all, the guy wants to start earlier and finish earlier. But suddenly a guy came up from behind and said he was Wu Ming. And this is my opponent, Ling Feng? He said he'd finish Ling Feng off. Ling Feng had gotten a little too cocky. Mo Yuzong's team was up to something. How could one lose concentration? Ling Feng said that because of respect for him, he would fight at full strength. Ling Feng defeated Wu Ming with one punch. He was puzzled, but Ling Feng's second opponent said he wouldn't dare to fight him, and he admits his defeat. Bing Ming said to Ling Feng that, "Very good, kid, has already passed the 4th round. Why are you not happy?" she asked. Ling Feng said that it was the 3rd day of the competition, and he didn't even break a sweat. Ling Feng shouted out that he was waiting to catch a dangerous opponent so he could have a good time. Here's the original 4th round. The final bout on the first court. The contestants are invited to the court. A student from Linu Academy, Lin Qin, and a student from Linu Academy, Mo Lan. Lin Qing said that luck was on her side, as there was still no opponent who had defeated her so far. Mo Lan said that Ling Qing not only became more beautiful, but also developed her abilities. She is now a household name in the academy. Mo Lan has been preparing a lot and taking pills. She can't help but defeat her. Ling Qing said it would be very easy to defend against her punch. Just like that, simple and neat. Using a lion-level strike, Mo Lan said, although she hadn't mastered this technique enough, it would be enough to kill her. Lin Nim said, Mo Lan's sister said that she had already suffered an injury and needed to admit defeat. Mo Lan admitted defeat. After all, Lin Nim was worthless and weak before, but now she was more beautiful and stronger than her. Ling Feng said that he is very bored, and he doesn't know if the next opponent will be able to cheer him up. Mo Yuqiang's disciple Lang Chen told Ling Feng not to be too frivolous. After all, he had come to finish him off. He said he's one of their top students, and he's 4th in their top 3. Ling Feng said to start the fight faster, for his stick had been bored and eager for a fight for a long time. Lung Chen told Ling Feng that he was overconfident. He'll have to pay for his words. Ling Chen is a 9th-level martial arts expert, and he launches an attack and delivers a level 5 yellow level 5 step strike. Lung Chen missed because of Ling Feng's fast speed, and now he wanted to use the yellow level ferocious tiger kick. And then there would be a dissecting kick. Ling Feng asked why he was doing all this. Unless he wants another stick kick in the ass. Ling Feng said he was shocked. And it's called a retaliatory strike, a triple attack, and the guy said he can also attack multiple times. But suddenly, Ling Feng used his exclusive fierce stick technique. But after throwing a few blows, he stopped and misfired, and said that Lung Chen is the 4th among the disciples. Miss Bing Ming told Ling Feng that good job, as long as he didn't disgrace the alchemy department. Ling Feng said that he hadn't had a chance to show off his strength fully yet. The 15th site where the battle between the two friends took place. Cheng Chan said that she was incredibly talented to defeat him. After all, Chung Chung did not give in to her. She had already surpassed him. Keep it up and she would reach greater heights, he said. Seeing the list, the students said that they shouldn't be beaten by Mo Yutong this year. Before this, the difference in the level of the participants was huge. Some even reached this stage quite easily. The participants shouted that the table was unfair. After all, Ling Qing would be fighting the incredibly strong Doug Ye. And there will also be a fight between Lun Shui and Ling Feng. The old rivals will fight again. That night, Ling Feng at the table said that no matter what opponent, they should not be afraid. They should eat and sleep. On the fourth day of the competition, Ling Feng said that the atmosphere was better than the alchemy department. Bingming said, "It's nothing. It's just that once he starts making pills, there are always explosions." Meanwhile, as Lin Qing looked around and was surprised that everything was gathered around like this for her, it was a very huge pressure. The apprentice told Lin Qing not to be afraid and to do her best. Standing on top of each other, Lin Qing said she was honored to fight Sister Doug in battle, while Doug told her to get ready. Bingming noticed that Lin Qing's sword couldn't withstand the blows. Unfortunately, the difference in strength is huge. Ling Feng said that it is very powerful. Even being here, he can feel it. Without using any techniques, she is able to deliver such powerful blows. But suddenly, after a while, Ling Qing felt she couldn't cope and decided to give up. And Doug thanked her for fighting. Bingming said that she would take Lin Qing and go rest, and let the two of them stay and do their own thing. The student said that Duange was one of the best. Of course she would win. No way. Ling Feng said, however, the fact that his sister was among the top 16 contestants was a great result. For the second fight, Sun Tian from Mo Yuzong against Qin Gao from Linu Academy came out for the second fight. Sung Tian said that, so time to show Linu Academy's real level. Jing Gao told him not to be so confident. For today, he was going to trample one of Mo Yuchong's top disciples. The student said that Qin Gao from their academy, with looks like this, fight will be intense. Ling Feng said no, and he thinks it's a matter of seconds. While Qin Gao was eliminated, Sun Tian won the battle. As he left, Sun Tian said that the students of Linu Academy were weak. The apprentice was surprised at how quickly he gained the victory. One strike from a level 5 martial arts master. She asked how did Ling Feng know about it. Ling Feng said that Sung Tian is the first of Mo Yuzong's disciples to go out to bat in the playoffs. Of course, he wants to instill fear in them. The third playoff fight was Li Sung from Linu Academy against Han Ren from Mo Yuchong. The students said that they say Han Ren is very powerful. It seems like there will be a massacre here. But Ling Feng said it will be fast again. While Li Xian prodded, the student asked Ling Feng how he defines it. Ling Feng said that a weakling in front of a truly strong opponent could do nothing. The disciple thought that the next fight between Mo Yuzong's disciples, Lang Shui versus Lang Yu. Lang Shui is very strong and should defeat Lang Yu with one punch. Watching this, Ling Feng said that Mo Yuzong was very calculating. Ling Shui hadn't dropped out yet, but he still hadn't shown his true power. The apprentice told the chief that this kid is diligent. Obviously, he's weaker than him, but how can he compete with him? The kid told him to try harder. Bingming asked Ling Feng why he came so late. The guy said that his fight would be his last, so he decided to take a nap. Lin Xin said the fifth fight has already come to an end. Li Du defeated Dong Xin, and the student said that the sixth fight is about to start. This Shui Lin is not so intimidating, but let's see if he can fight Wang Qi. Wang Qi said that his strength has run out, and let him not be beaten. He admits defeat in this fight. The female disciple said, "What a twist, just an unexpected outcome." While Ling Feng said that Shui Ling was much stronger, he was just playing for fun. Ling Feng pondered and thought that Shui Ling does not raise questions and is a very mysterious fighter. But suddenly, someone shouted to Ling Feng. Turning around, Ling Feng said Mo Kan approached him through going out to fight. Ling Feng asked if he remembered their agreement. Mo Zong told the guy to wait for a while. Once he finished off Lun Hao, he would definitely come after Ling Feng. Ling Feng told him to first see how he performed against Lun Hao, and then we would already talk. The student said finally, some strong opponents have gathered. The fight will be very interesting. In the end, who will win? Lin Qin said that she doesn't know either and thinks both of them are very powerful. Bing Ming said yes, what is there to think since both opponents are strong, they have the same chances. The student asked Ling Feng if he knew who would win. Ling Feng said he wasn't sure because he hadn't seen Lun Hao perform. Lun Hao said that Mo Kan is said to be in the top 4 in the second position. Very curious how dangerous he is.